And now, Seth Van Hogen.
Celebrating our ninth season in the Midwest League, it's time for Lugnuts baseball. This afternoon from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, the home of the Cedar Rapids Kernels, your Lansing Lugnuts, the Class A affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, take on the Cedar Rapids Kernels, the Class A affiliate of the Anaheim Angels in the third game of a four-game series. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Cedar Rapids. My name is Seth Van Hoven. Our producer engineer tonight, he is Dave Wells, and you are listening live to Lugnuts baseball on our flagship station, 92.7 FM, The Ticket, WQTX in Holt. Broadcast tonight can also be heard over the internet at LansingLugnuts.com. If you have questions or comments about the broadcast during the afternoon affair here in Cedar Rapids, you can email me at radio@LansingLugnuts.com. That's RADIO at LansingLugnuts.com. Won't be able to access my emails here at the ballpark this afternoon, but once we get back to our plush accommodations at the Best Western Cooper's Mill on the other side of town here in Cedar Rapids, I'll be able to dial those emails up for you. Well, today the Lugnuts trying to get the edge in the four-game series. They won yesterday's affair 9-3 over Cedar Rapids. As Drew Larson had a couple home runs, drove in four. Kevin Collins had a three-hit afternoon and lost his 14th home run of the year. After a rough start, the Lugnuts scored 9 unanswered runs to take the 9-3 win. Today, they will turn to their right-hander, Carlos Marmol, who's making his first start since May the 14th in Burlington. And Lugnuts coming at 29-20. They'll be going up against right-hander as well, Chris Hunter, who is 2-2 with a 3.86 earned run average. Marmol, he's 5-0 with a 2.77 earned run average. Here's the starting lineup for Lansing today. Walker, Rojas, and DePerrick at the top of the order. This Walker, the center fielder, leads it off, and he is followed by the shortstop, Carlos Rojas, and the first baseman, Brian DePerrick. Collins, Fox, and Chirinos in the middle of the order. Kevin Collins, the DH, is the cleanup man, followed by Jake Fox, the catcher, who's making his first appearance in the series today, and Robinson Chirinos, the second baseman. He hits sixth. Fitzgerald, Larson, and Mahee at the bottom of the order. Ryan Fitzgerald, the left fielder, is the number 7 hole hitter today. Drew Larson, the third baseman, hits 8. And Carlos Mahee, the right fielder, he brings up the rear and bats 9. For the Cedar Rapids Kernels, who come in at 28-20, their manager, Bobby Margonis, has sent his lineup this way. Cosby, Kendrick, and Wood at the top of the order. Juan Cosby, the center fielder, leads it off. He's followed by the second baseman, Howie Kendrick, and the shortstop, Brandon Wood. Wilson, Mayer, and Rodriguez in the middle of the order today for Cedar Rapids. Bobby Wilson, the third baseman, is the cleanup man. Caleb Mayer, the designated hitter, hits fifth. And Sean Rodriguez, the left fielder, he is the number 6 hole hitter. Holly, Duenas, and Peel are the bottom 3 order hitters today for Cedar Rapids. And Polly, the first baseman, hits 7th. He's followed by the catcher, Tommy Duenas, and the right fielder, Aaron Peel. And on the mound for the Kernels, once again, a right-hander, Chris Hunter, 2-2, with a 3.86 earned run average. Lansing will counter with Marmol, 5-0, with a 2.77 earned run average. Lansing, perfect in games that Marmol has pitched in this year. They have won 9, lost none. Speaking of winning, last night the South Bend Silverhawks, they got another win in Kane County, who remain 3 games ahead of the Lugnuts in the standings in the Eastern Division. South Bend 32-17 on the first half. Most wins in the league. They lead Lansing by 3 games in the Eastern Division. Battle Creek at 22-26. They are 9.5 games off the pace. Dayton 20-29, 12 games out. Fort Wayne 20-29. They are also 12 games out. West Michigan 19-29. They are 12.5 games off the pace in the Eastern Division. Look at the standings of the Eastern Division. Now we'll take a look at the Western Division. Cedar Rapids, Kane County, and Peoria, all 28-20. They are all tied for first place in the Western Division. Beloit at 27-22, a game and a half out. Clinton 26-23. They are 2.5 games off the pace. The Swing of the Quad Cities, 23-24. They are 4.5 games off the pace in the Western Division. Wisconsin 21-27. 7 games off the pace, and Burlington 16-33 of the first half of the Burlington Bees. They sit dead last in the Western Division. Take a look at the results in yesterday's happenings in the Midwest League. Battle Creek at home, 14-5 over Burlington. Matt Carson had a 2-for-4 evening with 4 runs dividend and a home run. He also had a double, scored 3 times. West Michigan in Beloit, 9-8 over the Snappers. Vince Blue, my boy Blue, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, 4 for 6. He scored a pair of runs. Adam Heather had 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in a losing effort for Beloit. Fort Wayne 4-1 over Dayton as Jared Wells gave up an earned run in 6 innings. And Juan Sirico hit his first home run, drove in a couple runs as well. Helped the Wizards to victory over the Dragons. South Bend 6-3 over Kane County. Mike Goss 3 for 5 with a run in the stolen base. And Emilio Bonifacio had an RBI as well as really big six of his 9th save of the year at the Silverhawks. Doubled up the Cougars in Geneva last night. Wisconsin all over Peoria, 12-9. And Cody Harther was 3 for 5 in a losing effort for the Peoria Chiefs. And the swing of the Cod City 6-4 over Clinton. J.R. Taylor had a 3 for 5 afternoon, and Scott Whitrock was 2 for 4 to help the swing get the victory in their home ballpark against the Clinton Lumber Kings. Today in the Midwest League, West Michigan is at Beloit, Wisconsin and Peoria, Dayton at Fort Wayne, Burlington is in Battle Creek, South Bend visits Kane County tonight, and the swing of the Quad Cities, they play host to the Clinton Lumber Kings tonight, an evening affair at John O'Donnell Stadium. If we look at the standings in the Midwest League and the result from yesterday's ball game, and we'll look ahead at today's game. Lansing comes in 3 games off the pace in the Eastern Division. They can pick up their 30th win of the year this afternoon if they can get it done against the righty Chris Hunter. Right now, the manager, Bobby Malganis, and the hitting instructor for the Lugnuts, Mike McCucci, they're meeting with the umpires and home plate. Bob Davidson, he'll be doing the balls and strikes work today behind the plate, and Chris Bakke, he will be on the base pass. So, going over some ground rules and talking a little baseball here on this Sunday afternoon. Well, the weather forecast here in the Cedar Rapids area got up this morning, and it called for some severe thunderstorms to come through the area around 3 o'clock. But as we stand right now at about 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, it is a sunny day here in Cedar Rapids. Partly cloudy. We still have some gray clouds that are over the ballpark in the left field and coming in from the west. And the wind coming across from the east today, about 10 to 12 miles an hour. But other than that, it's a sunny day and this afternoon for a ball game, and we certainly hope we can get the entire ball game in. I know the Lugnuts would want to get this game in. No way do they want to play a doubleheader tomorrow on getaway day. We want to get the game in tomorrow and then get back on our Dean Trailways motor coach and head back to Lansing for the start of a 4-game series against the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Now the managers have exchanged the lineup cards at home plate, and now we're just waiting for the Cedar Rapids Kernels to take their positions in the field of play. The national anthem singers there on the field as well, ready to honor us with our good national anthem. And the Kernels are at the top steps of the dugout. Matt Polly, the first baseman, he's on the steps of the dugout. And the rest of his Kernels wearing their BP tops today. The red uniforms, red hats for the Kernels today with some white numerals on the back. They've got Kernels across the front, etched in blue in cursive, giving each other a few high fives. And now the Kernels are taking their positions in the field with their right-hander Chris Cedar heading out to the mound for his 6th start of this season. So the Kernels have taken their positions. Now it's time for you to take your position behind the radio dial. So grab a beverage, sit back, relax. We hope you've enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend so far, and we hope to bring a Lugnuts victory here to you this afternoon. We'll take our first break of the broadcast, come back, and have baseball next, the Lugnuts and the Kernels from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, next on 92.7 The Ticket.
You've been listening to the Lugnuts pregame show brought to you by Oldsmobile on 92.7 The Ticket. Stay tuned. Seth Van Hoven will be right back with all of the Lugnuts play-by-play action. Looking for a fun event for your group of friends? That place is a Lugnuts game. Gather 20 of your friends and book your group outing today. Group outing participants get to sit together, have their group mentioned on the scoreboard, win great prizes, and get the option to order personalized T-shirts, sing the anthem, or possibly throw out a first pitch. For more information how you can go nuts as a group, contact the Lugnut Group Sales Office at 485-4500. The Lansing Lugnuts, where everyone gets to play.
It's Chevy Truck Fest, and there's never been a better time to get trucking to your Chevy dealer. We're making an unprecedented offer on almost every 2004 Chevy truck and SUV. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months for qualified buyers, plus $1,000 bonus cash on almost every 2004 Chevy truck and SUV. That's 0% APR, plus $1,000 bonus cash on almost every Chevy truck and SUV, like Silverado, Trailblazer, and Tahoe. Monthly payment is $16.67 for every $1,000 you finance. Average and cancel down payment is 12%. Some customers will not qualify. See dealers for details. Take delivery by 6104. It's Chevy Truck Fest. See your local Chevy dealer today.
April is National Donate Life Month, and the National Kidney Foundation is asking all Americans to consider becoming an organ or tissue donor. The simple act of signing an organ donor card and discussing your wishes with your family may save the life of one of the 83,000 Americans currently on the waiting list for a transplant. Want more information? Learn about organ donation today or request a free donor card by calling the National Kidney Foundation at 800-622-9010. That's 800-622-9010.
You're listening to Lugnuts Baseball on Lansing Sports Leader, 92.7 The Ticket, WQTX, Charlotte, Lansing, a Mid-Michigan radio group station. Lugnuts Baseball is on the air. Brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, making your future more predictable. National City. Pepsi, it's the cola. And Oldsmobile. And now, Lugnuts Baseball on Lansing Sports Leader, 92.7 The Ticket.
Sunday, May the 30th, 2004, game number 50 of the first half of the Lansing Lugnuts, and a third game of a four-game series here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Cedar Rapids. My name is Seth Van Hoven, and our producer-engineer today, he is Dave Well. And you're listening live to Lugnuts Baseball on our flagship station, 92.7 FM, the Ticket WQTX. Well, what a great Sunday afternoon it is on the 30th day of May 2004. The Indianapolis 500 right now roaring around the track in Indy tonight. The Pistons and Pacers right here on 92.7 The Ticket in Indianapolis. Pivotal Game 5 of that series. But before it gets down to Conseco Fieldhouse, we've got a baseball game. The Lugnuts and the Kernels, Game 3 of their four-game series. And Lansing will go for the lead in the series against the righty Chris Hunter. Hunter, 6'4", 205-pounder from Linden, Utah. A 41st round draft choice by the Anaheim Angels in 2003. Hunter this season 2-2. The 3.86 earned run average, making his ninth appearance for Cedar Rapids. Sixth start of the season. 35 innings pitched for the righty. 30 hits allowed, 15 earned runs. But he walked 18 and struck out 28. His last appearance, a good one. The Dayton Dragons in relief. When he pitched a walk, 4 strikeouts. As he helped the Kernels get the win that evening. We'll get Chris Walker, Carlos Rojas, and Brian DeParic here at the top of the first inning. Walker, the center fielder, but he'll hit from the left side of the plate. A 285 average for Walker, 1 homer, and 15 RBI. Memorial Station opened in 2002. 315 down the line in left, 325 in right, and 403 to straightaway center field. First pitch by Hunter, all but strikes, 0-1, and we are underway at 2:04 Central Standard Time. One pitch from the righty Hunter, and Walker swinging a miss, going to change of pace. It's 0-2. Mike McCucci coaching third base today for the Lugnuts, and Tony McQuaid, he's doing the duties on the first base side. Let's see, pitch outside the ball and 2 strikes. And he likes to work fast. And the 1-2 pitch, a fastball inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. On behind 0-2. Walker brought the count even at 2-2. And the Kernels wearing their red uniforms today. 2-2 pitch to Walker. There's a grounder to the second baseman. Howie Kendrick sucks it up. Go to first in time. Kendrick is showing the ability to play a fine defensive second base this series. He retires Walker for the first down of the game. Carlos Marmol, the shortstop, 2 for 8 in the series. Comes in a .235 hitter with no homers and 13 RBI. That's the defense for you behind Chris Hunter in just a second. And here's the first pitch to Carlos Rojas. He takes the curve for a called strike, 0-1. Outfield left and right. Sean Rodriguez is the left fielder. Quan Cosby plays center field, and Aaron Peel is in right field. 1 pitch, Rojas to go too far. They'll appeal out, and no, says the base umpire, Chris Bakke. It's the ball on the strike. Bob Davidson doing the calls behind the plate today. Bobby Wilson plays third base today for Cedar Rapids. 1-1 pitch, Rojas hits it right to Wilson. Comes in across the grass and throws to first in time. 2 groundouts to start the afternoon for Chris Hunter. 1 to second base and now 1 to third base. Brandon Wood, the Angels' first-round draft choice from last year, he's playing shortstop today. And Howie Kendrick playing second base. Matt Polly, the first baseman. And Tommy Duane, he is the catcher today for Cedar Rapids. We're in the top of the first inning. No score in the game. Lansing has had their first 2 hitters retire. Here's the Parrott, the first baseman. He takes a change of pace outside the way. 1 ball and no strike. This is the line by Hunter. 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike. 1-1. Hunter, a guy that the righties hit a little bit better than the lefties. A 56-point difference. 256 for the righties, 200 for the lefties. 1-1 pitch, a fastball the way. 2 balls and 1 strike. And he's a guy that gets a lot of ground balls. 44 groundouts, 25 walks, or flyouts rather. 2-1 pitch to the Parrott. Takes away again. 3 balls and 1 strike. Brian DeParrott came into this series mired in a pretty bad slump, but he has gotten hits in each of the 2 games and had a 2-hit game yesterday. He starts to show like he's coming back around. Goes after the 3-1 pitch, hits it to Kendrick. He shifts to his right and throws to first in time. A 1-2-3 inning, all in ground out. Lansing goes in order, and we go to the bottom of the first. Scoreless on 92-7 the ticket.
For the future and today, for what you need along the way, we'll ask you your credit union for life.
Okay, baseball fans, listen up. Here at Last Q, we've made some changes in the offseason. It's the same great team, but there's some new ground rules. Now, anyone who lives or works in Ingham, Eaton, or Clinton counties can join Last Q. We've been part of your community for more than 65 years, and now Last Q is open to everyone. Lots of branches, great products, outstanding service, and some new ground rules. Now, you can join too if you live or work in Ingham, Eaton, or Clinton counties. So make Last Q your credit union for life. Make the call, 517-321-6600. Last Q, proud exclusive sponsors of the Lugnuts Fireworks Series. Member NCUA.
We'll ask you your credit union for life.
Attention Lugnut fans. Nuts and Bolts, the official retail store of Roy Lansing Lugnuts, is now open for the 2004 season. You can shop for the hottest Lugnuts merchandise on both game days and non-game days throughout the 2004 season. Get all of the best Lugnuts merchandise, from Lugnutting t-shirts to official team ball caps to mini bats and other novelties all season long down at Oldsmobile Park. The Lansing Lugnuts, where everyone gets to play.
Well, the Lugnuts go in order in the top of the first inning. 3 ground outs off the bats of Walker, Rojas, and DeParrott. And here come the Kernels, 28-20 on the year. Their first attempt against Carlos Marmol, the righty from Baño in the Dominican Republic. Marmol, 6'2", 180 pounds, 5-0 with a 2.77 earned run average. Making his 10th appearance today for the Lansing. His 8th start. No Mark Pryor to come behind today for Marmol. He's going the first inning today. 55 in the third inning pitched. 43 hits allowed, 17 earned runs, 14 walks, and 53 strikeouts for Marmol. He'll get Quan Cosby, the center fielder, who hits from the left side to start the afternoon. His first pitch up high, 1 ball and no strike. Cosby, a .241 hitter with 2 homers and 11 RBIs. He'll be followed by Howie Kendrick and Brandon Wood, 2 righties here in the first. 1-0 pitch, there's a fastball called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Got the kids at the ball game today. Got some youngsters in the suite just to the left of me enjoying a Colonel Lugnut game here this afternoon. 1-1 pitch, that's a fast away, 2 balls and a strike. Lefty and 2 righties here for Marmol to deal with in the bottom of the first inning. 2-1 pitch, that's a broken bat flare, past the Perrick into right field. Cosby can fly, he's going to turn on the jet. He might try for 3 on this, he rounds the bag at second. Throw comes in, it's going to be late and cut off by the shortstop Rojas. Well, Marmol broke his bat, but Quan Cosby just got enough of it to get it into right field, past the Perrick. And for the second straight day, Quan Cosby had a leadoff triple. Now Cedar Rapids got it started yesterday, couple of runs into the first inning. Kendrick came up and tripled Cosby in. And Bobby Wilson had a single. It was 2-0 after 3 batters, but hopefully Marmol can avoid further damage here this afternoon. Here's Howie Kendrick, the second baseman, a .343 hitter. First pitch swing, and he fouls it back behind the plate, 0-1. 4 homers and 22 RBIs for Kendrick. Marmol had his worst outing last time out in relief of Mark Pryor against the West Michigan Whitecaps. 0-1 pitch. Taken in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Give up a season-high 10 hits in 4 2/3 innings of relief and 5 earned runs. Lansing came on to win that game in 11 innings by a score of 7-6. 1-1 pitch to Howie Kendrick, and a swing and a miss and a high fastball, 1-2. Bottom of the first inning, no score in the game. Lansing won in order in the first. And Quan Cosby has tripled to start off Cedar Rapids, bottom of the first inning. He's there with nobody out. And a 1-2 count on Howie Kendrick. 1-2 pitch, and Marmol delivers into left field, a base hit. Here comes Cosby across the plate. Kendrick delivers again. RBI number 23. And Cedar Rapids has the early lead this afternoon. It's 1-0. Marmol was ahead in the count there, 1 ball and 2 strikes, and he gave Kendrick a pretty good pitch to hit at 1-2. And second baseman took advantage, drove it into left field for a single in his 23rd run driven in. Here's the shortstop Brandon Wood making his first appearance in the series. There goes Kendrick, swing and a miss, strike 1, throw to second base, and a sweep tag by Rojas is not in time as Kendrick swipes the bag. And just like that, the Kernels have another runner in scoring position. Kendrick's 10th stolen base of the year. That's tied for second most on the club. Sean Rodriguez, he stole his 11th yesterday. So takes the team lead. 0-1 count on Brandon Wood, the top draft choice of the Anaheim Angels in 2003, just last year. Now time called by the home plate umpire, Bob Davidson. Let's set that defense for you behind Marmol. In the outfield, left to right, Ryan Fitzgerald is in left. Chris Walker is in center field. And Carlos Mejia, he plays right field. 0-1 pitch, and it's fouled back behind the plate, 0-1. Wood, a .287 hitter, 6 homers and 27 RBIs in his first full season of professional baseball. Played last season in Provo, the Pioneer League affiliate. Drew Larson plays third base today. Carlos Rojas is the shortstop. Chirinos is the second baseman. 0-2 pitch, line hard, and fouled on the first base shot. And the Perrick plays first base for Lansing, and Jake Fox does the catching. First appearance in the series for Foxy. A couple of games off. Bobby Wilson, the third baseman, he's on deck for the Kernels. Wilson did the catching the first 2 games, but moves to the third base side of the field for today's ball game. 1-2 now on Brandon Wood. I know some said it about looks. Kendrick back to the second. He going to third. Pitches outside for a ball. Throw to third is not in time, as Larson couldn't hold the throw from the catcher, Fox. He would have been out if he squeezes the ball, but Larson could not squeeze it, and it's a stolen base for Kendrick. Now he's got 11 stills on the air, and he is just 90 feet away. 1-2 on Brandon Wood. So early on, Bobby Margonis putting some pressure on the Lugnuts, running around the bases. 1-2 pitch by Marmol. Way outside, gets stopped by Fox on a change of pace. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We want to thank Oldsmobile for sponsoring our pregame show today. My good friends at Oldsmobile sponsor the pregame show each and every day on the broadcast. And the postgame show tonight we'll have the Farm Bureau Insurance Game Summary. Brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, making your future more predictable. And still a few innings away, though. It's the 2-2 pitch for Marmol. Shot in the infield. This should get the run in. Rojas, a strong throw across the diamond. Is in time to get Wood, but in comes Mr. Kendrick from third base, and it's 2-0. First out of the inning, RBI number 28 for Brandon Wood, and the Kernels lead it by a score of 2-0. Decision to get Kendrick on the base paths and move him around. It results in a run here for Cedar Rapids. Second consecutive day, Lansing has fallen behind by a couple runs in the first inning. It's a called strike to Bobby Wilson, a .331 hitter, 3 homers and 27 RBIs. He hits from the right side of the plate. A 1 pitch. Chopped hard and fouled on the first base side, 0-2. Wilson has caught the first 2 games in this series, playing in his 3rd game in third base. Got to talk to John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels, today before the game, and he said that Bobby Wilson is still adjusting to life at third base, something he's not going to be doing too often, but he's been learning on the job kind of. It's the 0-2 pitch outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's got to be a totally different experience for Wilson down at third base. 1-2 pitch. He hits this pretty hard to center. Walker goes back, and on the warning track, he puts it away. It's the second straight day Wilson has given it a ride to center field, and Walker has tracked it down on a hit. Wilson's going to be glad when Chris Walker leaves town. He's sick and tired of Walker tracking those long flies out in the outfield. 2 away in the first inning, and here's the DH, Caleb Mayer. Mayer played with Cedar Rapids last year after his 2nd season, making it his first appearance in this series. First pitch from Marmol. He hits it pretty well to left, and Fitzgerald just turns and watches this baby fly out of the ballpark. Good grief, that was a shot by Mayer. Up and over the pavilion in left field. On to 8th Street. And it's 3-0 Cedar Rapids. Home run number 4 for Mayer. And RBI number 13. So dicey start for Marmol here this afternoon. Here's the left fielder, Sean Rodriguez. The first pitch up high, 1 ball and no strike. Cedar Rapids up 3-0. 3 hits in the first inning. And they'll pitch a fastball up by 2-0. And Rodriguez is a 274 hitter, 4 homers and 15 RBI. Well, here comes Mike Anderson to talk things over with Marmol. He does not look in the zone at all today. I'll tell you one thing. You know, Lansing lost the opening game on Friday night here at Cedar Rapids. The 3 starters, when you talk about the start of a ball game, Randy Wells has been the most poised on the mound, at least initially in these games here in Cedar Rapids. Wells was in complete control on Friday night till the 6th inning, and he showed incredible poise on the mound on Friday night. Ready to go, was waiting for the baseball to come back on the rubber, just locked in. 2-0 pitch to Rodriguez, and he hits it high in the air to left field. Fitzgerald, this time it's playable. He tracks over, and he puts it away for the final out in the first inning. But the Kernels strike for 3 runs. They do it on 3 base hits. There are no errors. and they leave no one. We played an inning today. Lansing trails Cedar Rapids 3-0 on 92.7 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Dick from Carquesta Parts Place, and everybody here is excited about celebrating our 40th birthday. You might remember what it was like working on your car in 1963, but today most of us need professional help. That's why we support ASC and the professional technician. We'll be hosting special events and promotions all year long at your neighborhood Parts Place store. Just imagine 40 years of quality replacement parts for your car and 40 years of quality customer service. When you need a part, go where the pros go.
The following is an important announcement from Challenge Mortgage. No matter what your credit situation is, Challenge Mortgage can help. Whether you have good credit, bad credit, no credit, been turned down for a loan, want to consolidate debt, rebuild your credit, or get cash out, Challenge Mortgage has great programs regardless of your credit situation. Do it now while the rates are low. Call today, 877-922-2522.
Big enough to get the job done and small enough to care. Challenge Mortgage. We'll find a way. Dave Mad Dog DeMarco on 92.7 The Ticket.
As far as Rashid, after the series, after the playoffs are over, does he have to have surgery, or is that just a thing that takes time to heal? How do they repair that?
What do I look like, a stinking podiatrist?
No, you know more doctors than I do.
Well, I don't know a brain surgeon because you need one. I don't know what the hell the procedure is. What do I look like? I come in here with a scalpel?
Mad Dog and Company, every afternoon from 3 to 6, only on 92.7 The Ticket.
Top of the second inning, and Lansing trails in the game by a score of 3-0. Kevin Collins, J.J. Paxton, Robinson, Chirinos here in the second inning. Lansing tries to get on the board against Chris Hunter. Kernels popping for 3 runs in the bottom of the first. A leadoff triple by Cosby, an RBI single by Kendrick, a couple of swipes for Kendrick. And a ground up by Brandon Wood, and then a solo homer by Caleb Mayer. First pitch to Collins. He takes outside 1-0. First pitch Mayer saw in the entire series, and he bombed it out on 8th Street. Collins is .342 hitter, 14 homers, and 39 RBI. It's after the 1-0 pitch and hits the foul back behind the plate, 1-1. Be called by Jake Fox and Chirinos here in inning number 2 for Lansing. Lugnuts went in order in the top of the first inning. It's the 41st round draft choice of the Angels, Chris Hunter. 3 ground outs for the Lugnuts in the top of the first inning. 1-1 pitch, Collins takes down low, 2 balls and a strike. Ryan, Lugnut fans that go work out is the official workout facility of your Lansing Lugnuts. Workout is 4 ways you can work out: a cardiovascular workout, weight machines, free weights, and personal instruction. All at Go Workout, the official workout facility of your Lansing Lugnuts. 2-1 pitches inside, and now Collins, a good hitter's count here at 3-1. Garcia give him the green light at 3-1. Will the Tampa, Florida native be taking? Kick and line by the righty Hunter. Collins is swinging, and he fouls it back behind the plate, 3-2. They had chased ball 4 there, but went after it and fouled it back behind the plate to bring a full count in his first at-bat of the afternoon game. Collins has had another good road series, 4 for 9 here in Cedar Rapids in the first 2 games. Payoff pitch. Collins is swinging a miss at a high fastball. Strike 3. First strikeout for Hunter today, and 1 away in the second inning. Brought a 91-mile-an-hour heater right to Collins. That time Hunter won the battle as he got the fastball by Kevin. Here's the catcher, Jake Fox. He's making his first appearance in the series this afternoon. With 8 hitter with 3 homers and 20 RBI. First pitch is high, 1 ball and no strike. And Lugnuts fans, and also later in the broadcast today, we'll be doing the LAFCU scoreboard. Brought to you by LAFCU, your credit union for life. There's a base hit as Fox lines it into left field. Second pitch he sees in the series, and he takes Chris Hunter offering into left field. Lansing is their first pitch of the afternoon, and here's the second baseman, Robinson Chirinos. Good job of hitting there by Jake Fox to take Lansing on the hit column this afternoon. Chirinos, a 233 hitter, 4 homers and 19 RBIs. It's from the right side of the plate. Lansing has 2 lefties in there against Hunter, Chris Walker and Collins. Chirinos is showing button and pulls it back, takes inside, 1-0. The Superstars are here this afternoon as well. Inflatable characters. We'll tell you about them in just a second. 1-0 pitch to Chirinos. Chirinos drives it to left. This ball is deep, and this ball is long gone. A line shot homer for Chirinos. And despite what the kids say in the suite next to me, Chirinos can hit. It's a 2-run homer, and the Lugnuts are back to within a run at 3-2. Home run number 5 for Chirinos. RBIs number 20 and 21. Oh, did he ever drive that baby out of here? That may have taken a second to a second and a half to get out of the ballpark. First pitch to Fitzgerald. He brings the bat too far through the zone. Strike one. That's the kind of response Lansing needed here in the second inning. And one pitch. Fitzgerald takes down low. 1-1. Ryan, a 270 hitter now. Won a homer and 11 RBIs. He's had a 2-for-3 night yesterday in front of friends and family. Takes the 1-1 pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike. Just joining us, Cedar Rapids struck with 3 runs in the first inning. Lansing come back with a couple here in the second. 2-1 Fitzgerald. Held it sharply back behind the plate. Count even at 2-2. 1-out single by Fox. He came in on a homer by Chirinos into that pavilion in left field, and Lansing now back to within a run. 2 runs on 2 hits for Lansing. 3-0 for the Kernels. 2-2 pitch inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Hunter hasn't walked the batter yet, but he's in danger of missing his first 3 pass here in the second inning. Payoff pitch. Down low, ball 4, Fitzgerald. Patience at the plate, and here is Drew Larson. Speaking of homers, how about Drew Larson yesterday? Had a couple, drove in 4 runs, and hit it in similar conditions to yesterday. With that wind coming in from the east here at Veterans Memorial Stadium at about 10 to 12 miles an hour. He popped a couple of them up there. So the first base back is Fitzgerald. Ahead of the tag of the first baseman, Matt Pollard. And interesting to pick up the paper today here in Cedar Rapids. And as Hunter comes in at the belt. First pitch, Larson. He hits it pretty well to center. Cosby goes back and he puts it away. Cosby got back to that ball pretty quickly. Back to first base goes Ryan Fitzgerald. Apparently the headline in the Cedar Rapids paper today was "Weak Hit Lugnut." Drew Larson powers Lansing to victory. Didn't use his name in the article, or in the headline, but said "Weak Hit Lugnut." Hitting, Hittin. Interesting that something like that would appear in the newspaper. First pitch to Mejia. He takes down low, 1 ball and no strikes. And who the copy editor is at that paper. Hitting's not a word, it's hitting with a G, but apparently it's a little different here in Cedar Rapids. Go back over to first base back is Fitzgerald. We're in the top of the second inning. Lansing trails Cedar Rapids 3-2. The Kernels, they popped a home run in the bottom of the first inning. Lansing came back with a 2-run shot by Chirinos here in the second. 1-0 pitch to Mejia. He hits this down the right field side. It's going to hook and go foul at the last second. Well, if that's a fair ball, that might be out of here. It's a 1-1 count. Cedar Rapids came into action with 52 homers. Leads the league with the Lugnuts with 43, now 44 homers on the year. That's the third best in league. Dayton, they have hit 45. And 1 pitch instead of throw back over to first base. Fitzgerald back inside. Drew a 1-out walk, and then Larson flew out hard to center field. Carlos Marmol, the right fielder, up there with a 1-1 count. The center comes to the bat, and then let's throw back over to first base. Cardinals got 3 hits off of Marmol in the first inning. Triple by Cosby, RBI single by Kendrick, and a home run. And it's a 1-1 pitch to throw, pitch out, and it's not going to work. Despite the catcher, Tommy Dwayne, just thrown down to first base. 2-1 now on Mejia. Mejia, 260 hitter with 1 homer and 19 RBIs. Looks at Mike McCucci, the Lugnuts hitting instructor. And he's got a good hitter's count here at 2-1. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss and a change of pace, 2-2. Now the count even on Mejia. Outfielder's playing Mejia pretty much straight up, but if he can launch one into that right center field gap here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, gets a run for day. 2-2 pitch. Mejia hits it in the left. This is going to get down for a base hit. Up to second base goes Fitzgerald as Carlos Mejia. A 3-for-4 day yesterday. Picks up a single in his first at bat here in the second inning. And Lansing there back to having the potential to tie the game here in the second inning. With Fitzgerald the second and Chris Walker the hitter at the plate. That's going to draw a visit from the Kernels pitching coach Eric Bennett. Lugnut fans, Lugnuts and Timber Ridge Golf Course were teaming up in 2004. Timber Ridge was recently rated 4.5 stars by Golf Digest magazine reader. A beautiful layout with an up-north flavor. If you haven't played Timber Ridge lately, come experience a more player-friendly version. Make that long drive on the fairway, not the freeway. Located on Park Lake Road in East Lansing, Michigan. For more information, call 1-800-T-RIDGE-2 in Michigan. That's 1-800-T-RIDGE-2. Check out Timber Ridge Golf Course right here in East Lansing, Michigan. Well, they just had a conference on the mound with Eric Bennett, the pitching coach for the Kernels. The catcher, Tommy Dwayne, he was involved in that discussion as well. As Walker stepped in for the at-bat, Dwayne just decided he wanted to get some more cardio work in, went back out to the mound. First pitch to Chris Walker. That's right back up the middle into center field. Here comes Fitzgerald. They're going to wave him home. Up to third base goes Mejia. Fitzgerald scores, and Lansing has tied the game at 3 here in the second inning. RBI number 16 for Walker. And the Lugnuts have an answer here in the second inning. That's the sign of a good baseball team. A counterpunch delivered by Lansing here in the second. And here's Rojas. Now Lansing could take the lead here in the second inning. If Rojas can deliver a 2-out hit. Go back over to first base to keep an eye on Walker, who has 25 stolen bases. Well, a pair of back-to-back 2-out hits by Mejia and by Walker have resulted in the Lugnuts tying it up here in the second inning. First pitch to Rojas to move back to third and then back to first. And nothing to do it as Hunter could not get Walker leaning too far off the first base bag. Now the Linden Utah native comes down to pitch out, 1 ball and no strikes. Walker not going anywhere. The Kernels guessed wrong on that pitch out. Seen so many pitch outs in this series. Good grief. Haven't seen that many all year. I don't think I'd even seen a handful of pitch outs before we came here. 1-0 pitch, and there's another bluff to third. Back to first move by Hunter. Hopefully he will just lose his focus here to Rojas and give up a base hit. 1-0 pitch. Rojas goes after it and fouls it back up along the first base side. 1-1. He's so intent on keeping Chris Walker at first base is Chris Hunter that hopefully he'll lose his focus to Carlos Rojas here. Brian DePerick, Lansing's first baseman, he's waiting on deck if Rojas can continue the inning. Lansing has already scored 3 times here. They've got runners at first and third with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch to Rojas, and that's up high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Wouldn't it be sweet if Rojas could get a base on balls and then DePerick could come up and crank one out of here for a grand slam. Can't predict the future, but that would be totally awesome. 2-1 pitch, Walker bluffs him. That's hitting the air to right, and there is the right fielder Peel. He puts it away for the final out in the second inning. But the Lugnuts come back after seeing Cedar Rapids score 3 times in the first. Lansing comes back with 3 in the second. And we go to the bottom of the inning, tied at 3 on 92.7 The Ticket.
April is National Donate Life Month, and the National Kidney Foundation is asking all Americans to consider becoming an organ or tissue donor. The simple act of signing an organ donor card and discussing your wishes with your family may save the life of one of the 83,000 Americans currently on the waiting list for a transplant. Want more information? Learn about organ donation today or request a free donor card by calling the National Kidney Foundation at 800-622-9010. That's 800-622-9010.
The future's looking better and brighter every day. We're neighbors and friends who stand beside you all the way. Always there when you need us. People you can trust. Your family and future are always safe with us. We're making your future more predictable. On your insurance.
Hey Lugnut fans, check out the new face of the Lugnuts at LansingLugnuts.com. The official team site is your all-access pass to Lugnuts baseball. View our special fan section to see upcoming promotions, pictures of Lugnut fans in action at Olds Park, and read the most current news about your Lugnuts in the press room. Don't forget that LansingLugnuts.com is the fastest and most convenient way to purchase tickets to all of your Lugnut home games. And the latest in hot Lugnuts apparel from the Nuts and Bolts store. The Lansing Lugnuts, where everyone gets to play.
Top of the second inning for Lansing. They scored 3 runs. We have the bottom of the second inning, a tie game at 3 runs apiece. Well, the Superstars are here in town at Cedar Rapids today. The inflatable mascots that perform an action-packed entertainment show. And they model themselves after baseball players and other celebrities in the sports world. Got Harry Canary out there behind the plate, and Nomar Garcia Parrott. There, imitating the former Cubs broadcaster, former Cardinals broadcaster Harry Carey, and the current Red Sox shortstop Nomar Garcia Parra. First pitch to Matt Pauley is struck by Marmol, nothing in 1. It'll be Pauley, Duanges, and Peel here in the second inning for the Kernels in a 3-3 game. A 1 pitch to Pauley, and that's it, foul up along the left side, 0-2. Big inning here for Marmol after his teammates come back with 3 runs in the second inning. The good thing for Uncle Momentum if Marmol could shut down Cedar Rapids here in inning number 2. 0-2 pitch is a fastball up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Superstars also have such characters as Shark McGuire. We'll see him later in the game. Dennis Frogman, he'll be out here as well. 1-2 pitch. Polly, strike 3 as Marmol catches the inside corner with a change pace. First strikeout for Carlos today, and 1 out in the second inning. Garcia Parra's wife, Mia Ham, she's also featured. She's out here today in superstar form. Mia Hamster should be an interesting character to take a look at. Also have Ken Garaffi Jr. First pitch to Duanges is taken down low for a ball, 1-0. Duanges, a 183 hitter with 4 homers and 10 RBIs. He hits from the right side of the plate. In case you are just joining us on the broadcast, we're tied at 3 in the bottom of the second inning. There's a little looper in the right. This is going to get down for a base hit, probably extra bases. Mejia picks up in the corner, a throw to second base. It is late, and Duanges has a 1-out double. 4th hit for the Kernels now, and their 3rd extra base hit as Duanges picks up the 2-base hit, his 6th of the season. And here's the right fielder, Aaron Field. Duanges now 3 for 5 in the series with a homer and a double. Field, a 215 hitter with 6 homers and 14 RBIs. First pitch, and he lines it into left field, a base hit. Up to third base goes Duanges as the throw comes in the infield, cut off by Drew Larson. Back-to-back hits here by the Kernels with 1 out, and it's back to the top of the lineup, and Quan Cosby. So far, Marmol has not been fooling any of these Cedar Rapids hitters. Just have 1 strikeout here today, but striking out Matt Pauley on a good breaking pitch. He's given up a double to Duanges and a single to Aaron Peel. Cosby hits from the left side. He tripled his first time up. Marmol is giving Cosby a ton of room in right field. pitch to Cosby, take it up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Mejia out in right field. He is in as much of right center as you can call right center. One on the pitch. Cosby fouled out back behind the plate, 1-1. The Kernels scored 3 runs in the first inning off of Marmol. Leadoff triple by Cosby, an RBI single by Howie Kendrick. A couple of stolen bases for Kendrick, an RBI ground out for Brandon Wood, and then a solo homer by Caleb Mayer. They tied the game up in the second inning with 3 runs of their own. 1-1 pitch is hit foul up along the third base side, 1-2. That's got a 1-out single from Jake Fox. It's 2-run homer for Chirinos. It still drew walk. Larson flew in hard to center. Mejia singled. Walker singled in Fitzgerald to tie it at 3. And Rojas flew out to right to end the inning. He's left 2 runners on base in the first 2 innings today. Kernels didn't leave anybody in the first inning. Lansing and Marmol hoping they leave some runners here in inning number 2. 1-2 and a throwback over to first base. Back is Aaron Peel. I believe this is already our 50th game of the season. Halfway to 100 in 2004. 1-2 pitch by Marmol. Cosby laces it to center. Walker catches on a beat. Duages is going to tag and test Walker's arm. Throw the plate is late. And Cedar Rapids has retaken the lead, 4-3. At the first base goes Aaron Field. And Cosby picks up his 12th RBI of the season on the sacrifice fly. And Howie Kendrick. 2 outs inning now. Hopefully Marmol can just keep this damage to a run here in the second inning. Kendrick singled his first time up and then swiped a couple of bases. Marmol comes set at the belt. First pitch, grounded to second. There is Chirinos. From one second baseman to another, Robinson throws out Howie to end the inning. But the Kernels come up with a run. They do it on 2 base hits with a sacrifice fly. No errors in the inning, and they leave 1. We go to the third. Lansing trails 4-3. No, 92-7 the ticket.
Hey, Jim, my wife tells me you belong to State Employees Credit Union. Do you do all your financial business for them? Sure do. Great benefits and friendly service. SECU offers free checking and youth programs and a variety of competitive home and auto loans. But we're not state employees. Oh, that's okay. SECU has many other membership options. You should check into it, right? I will. Visit SECU.org. Call 800-YES-SECU or stop by one of our 10 locations. State Employees Credit Union. Working together for a better future. Member NCUA and an equal housing lender.
All over Michigan, Comcast customers are having a great time with Comcast high-speed internet. From Detroit to Ann Arbor to Muskegon, the customers are crazy about the lightning fast speed and the fact that it's always connected. So, no more dial-up frustrations. And downloading? Well, never mind waiting hours. Try a few seconds. From stock quotes to music to school projects, they're browsing the internet 3 times faster than a 768 DSL, which seems to be making them, well, really happy. Then there are the digital cable fans. What they love about that? That's a whole different commercial. Right now, Comcast digital cable and high-speed internet together. Just $59.98 per month for 6 months. Call 1-888-COMCAST for details. That's 1-888-COMCAST. Also applies to the combination of Comcast standard cable, digital classic, and high-speed internet, and is available to new Comcast customers only. Service is not available in all areas. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Installation, taxes, equipment charges, and other fees apply. After promotional period, standard rates apply. Call for details. Other restrictions apply. Limited time offer.
Top of the third inning, and Lansing trails again, this time by a score of 4-3, as the Kernels have retaken the lead on the RBI sacrifice fly by Quan Cosby that brought home Tommy Dwayne just in the second inning. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 here for the Lugnuts in the third inning. The Barrett Collins and Fox against Chris Hunter. Right, he gave up 3 runs in the second inning. And Hunter will face the Lugnuts first baseman here, Brian DePerrick, to start the third inning. Lansing with 3 runs on 4 hits, and they have left 2 runners on base, no errors in the field. Cedar Rapids 4 runs on 5 hits, They've left one runner on base. They have also not committed an error in the field of play this afternoon. They're both for one. He grounded out to second to end the first inning. Taken wide by the righty Hunter, and DePerick takes the pitch down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Chris Hunter comes set us about the 1-0 pitch. Derek chops this up on the infield. Tough play for the third baseman. Coming across, and a strong throw from Bobby Wilson is in time. Well, we've seen Wilson throw behind the plate, and he's got the arm to get it across the diamond. And he just waited back on a grounder by DePerick and came in and made a strong throw for the first out. Here's Kevin Collins, who struck out to start the second inning for the Lugnuts. The second crack at Chris Hunter. When we come back on Thursday, June 3rd, Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, the Molson Thirsty Thursday, sponsored by Molson. Collins takes the first pitch up high, 1-0. Here concludes specials throughout the game: $2 beer, $2 soda, and $2 for 4 wings. Doing this a couple times in June for Molson Thirsty Thursday. 1-0 pitch is fouled up along the third base side, 1-1. Tickets for Molson Thirsty Thursday, call 517-485-4500, extension 251, or log on to the website at www.lansinglucknuts.com. 1-1 pitch, and Collins fouls it sharply back behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In the top of the third inning, Cedar Rapids lead Lansing by a score of 4-3. Kernels has scored in each of the first 2 innings. Off of the righty Carlos Marmol, who has looked shaky once again this afternoon. 1-2 pitch. Collins hits this in the air down the left field line. It's going to hook, and in the corner, it bounces on the top of the cement. Just away from the left fielder, Sean Rodriguez. See, good bounce for the Lugnuts there, because if that ball comes down the field of play, there is Rodriguez to make the catch for the second out of the inning. There's a pavilion out in left field. And then it's 3:15 down the line in left with a hair pole promoted by Blimpie Subs out in left field. And then they have another extension to that pavilion that kind of jets out onto the field of play a little bit. 1-2 pitch, swing and a foul. Collins shoots it back behind the plate. One out here in the top of the third inning. DePerick grounded out to third to start the inning. Shake Fox, who is 1 for 1 today, he's waiting on deck. He's hoping to come up to the plate with a runner on base in his second at bat. Collins trying to earn his way on here at 1-2. Swinging and miss on a strike in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher. Dwayne just Collins will go down to first base, and the throwdown is in time. Second strikeout for Chris Hunter today. They've both been of Kevin Collins. And 2 outs here in the third inning. And here is the catcher, Jake Fox. And Fox started off in the second inning for Lansing after Collins had struck out. Leadoff single behind Collins as he takes the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Chirinos then hit a 2-run homer to left, and Fitzgerald drew a walk. Came in on a single by Chris Walker 3 batters later. 0-1 pitch. Fox went too far again. 0-2. Kicks you on. 0-2 pitch to Fox. Line back up the middle. There's the second baseman, Kendrick, in shallow center field. This throw is in time. Kendrick shows some range on that one, getting to Fox's grounder. And that'll do it for Lansing in the third inning. They go in order for the second time in 3 innings, and we go to the bottom of the third, trailing 4-3. Now 92.7 the ticket.
Pepsi brings you lunch. You know, folks, when you're traveling overseas, you don't want to look stupid. Like, don't order French fries when you're in France. Don't do it. And don't ask for Swiss cheese in Switzerland. I asked for Swiss cheese in Switzerland once. The guy looked at me like I insulted him. He was like, "They are weird." I was like, "Take it easy." And when you're in China, don't ask a guy, "Hey man, you know I can get some good Chinese food around here?" They are going to lock you up. And if you're in Holland,
and you want to split the electric bill with your date, don't ask if she wants to go Dutch. She already is Dutch. And when you order that Dutch girl a bowl of Slurp and a nice cold Pepsi, don't say, do your people call it Pepsi too? Of course they call it Pepsi. You think they come to the States and ask for American Cola? Well, they will if you keep asking them for Dutch chocolate.
Without Pepsi, it's just not lunch. Pepsi, it's the cola.
Attention families and kids. The Lugnuts want you to know that Old Spark is the place for kids every Sunday day. Join us each and every Sunday home game of the season to take part in Meyer Kids Day. Grab a balloon, get your face painted, make your own baseball card or pennant, and have a ball in one of our 3 inflatables. And don't forget to catch free live entertainment at the Meyer main stage in the 4th inning. Plus, every Sunday you can run the bases after the game with Pepsi. Who wouldn't love Meyer Kids Day? Sunday at Old Spark is the place to be, and Meyer Kids Day is the reason why. The Lansing Lugnuts, where everyone gets to play.
Out of the 3rd inning, Lansing trails Cedar Rapids 4-3. And Shark McGuire is out there with, Ronald Bay is out there wearing number 13 for the Lugnuts. And his usual number 2 is the Kernels trying to get some more runs here in the 3rd inning off of Carlos Marmol. Actually, that is not Ronald Bay. That's just a member that the Superstars wearing a Lansing jersey. And it'll be Brandon Wood, Bobby Wilson, and Caleb Mayer for the Kernels here in the 3rd inning. Cedar Rapids has scored 4 runs in the first 2 innings off of Marmol. It's a big inning here for Marmol to try to keep the Kernels in that lead at just 1 run. Wood grounded out to short his first time up. First pitch from Marmol is inside, 1 ball and no strike. Wood will be found by Bobby Wilson and Caleb Mayer here in the 3rd inning. 4 and 5 from Cedar Rapids. 1-0 pitch. Outside the way, 2-0. Lansing has not lost the game at Marmol's pitching this year. 9-0. 2-0 pitch. Way outside. 3 balls and no strike. Not the kind of start in the 3rd inning that Marmol wanted to have. He has fallen behind the leadoff man, Brandon Wood, 3-0. Hasn't walked the hitter yet. Struck out 1. 3-0 pitch here to Wood. And it's up high, ball 4. A leadoff walk, and the Kernels have a runner on base for the 3rd straight inning. Second time their leadoff man has gotten on today, and here's the 3rd baseman, Bobby Wilson. On Sunday, June the 20th, Lansing takes on Battle Creek. There next, Meyer Kids Day, sponsored by Meyer. Special boosting activities open for kids throughout the game, including the entertaining acts on the Meyer main stage. As Wilson hits the first pitch in the air to right, Taylor Mejia comes over and he can't get it as it goes by the foul line. 0-1 on Bobby Wilson now. Meyer Kids Day, sponsored by Meyer. Also inflatable game specials on Meyer Kids Day, and Kids Run the Bases, sponsored by LaughQ. They're sponsored by Pepsi, I beg your pardon, not by LaughQ. That's our fireworks provider. After the game, the kids can run the bases just like the Lugnuts do. Go back over to first base. Back is Brandon Wood. Well, some lightning spotted out in the skies over Cedar Rapids, just to the east of the ballpark. And 1 pitch. That's way behind Wilson, up to second base, and that throw is deep into center field. Up to 3rd base goes Wood as he slides into the bag. A wild pitch by Marmol and a wild throw by Fox, and 1-1 on Wilson now. He too on the throw to get Wood up to 3rd base. Fox commits the error on the season now for Jake. That's 5. And with nobody out, Cedar Rapids looks poised to add another run here with the 3rd inning. He's Lansing by a score of 4-3. This is sponsored by Pepsi. It's the Cola. On 1 pitch. Up and in, 2 balls and 1 strike now to Wilson. Caleb Mayer, the DH, he homered. He's waiting on deck. And with his first time up to Mayer, he is in the on-deck circle. 2-1 pitch by Marmol. That's grounded up the middle. This will get the run in as Chirinos will go to first for the out to retire Bobby Wilson. His 28th RBI of the year on the ground out, and it's 5-3 Cedar Rapids. Before Caleb Mayer comes up for his second at bat of the ball game, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. 92.7 the ticket.
You're listening to Lugnuts Baseball on Lansing Sports Leader, 92.7 the ticket, WQTX, Charlotte, Lansing, a Mid-Michigan radio group station.
First pitch to Mayer, called strike, 0-1. Bases are now empty and the kicking wide. Outside 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, that wild pitch and throwing error proved disastrous for the Lugnuts because the next man, Wilson, grounded this second. It had been a double play. 1 pitch outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Instead, they ground out by Bobby Wilson, produced Cedar Rapids' 5th run of the game. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Lansing will try to come back in the 4th inning with Chirinos, Fitzgerald, and Larson due up. And tucking that jersey back into his pants on the mound. And lets his brow a little bit now. Brings the glove chest level. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As Mayer looks at Jake Fox, the catcher, make sure he held on to the ball. Fox did indeed. Second strikeout for Marmol. 2 outs in the inning now. And here's the left fielder, Sean Rodriguez. It's an unearned run to Marmol here in the 3rd inning. And here's Rodriguez, the left fielder. He flew out to Fitzgerald to end the 1st inning. First pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Something about the 0-1 pitch. Foul back behind the plate, 0-2. Lasky Fireworks Show on Friday, June the 4th. Sponsored by Lasky, your credit union for life, when the Lugnuts and Timber Rattlers wrap up their 4-game series. 0-2 pitch will appeal out. Yes, as strike 3 is called on Sean Rodriguez. Fox applies the tag. We'll tell you a little bit more about the Lasky Fireworks series in the 4th inning. Cedar Rapids goes down here in the 3rd. They get a run on no base hits. It's a possibly throwing error by Fox. No hits in the inning. And they leave no one. We go to the 4th. Lansing trails Cedar Rapids 5-3. Now 92.7 the ticket.
Big John's Steak and Onions, down Louis Oakland Road on West Saginaw and at Brandon. Experience the thrill of the grill.
When it comes to motorhomes or trailers, nobody does it like Gillette Interstate RV. Hi, this is Jerry, inviting you and your family to come out to Gillette today. We have Mid-Michigan's largest selection of new and pre-owned motorhomes to fit your budget, with over 25 models from the smallest Class B to the largest diesel pusher. Gillette Interstate RV is located on Business 69, exit 94 off I-69 in East Lansing. So remember, when it comes to you getting the most affordable pop-up to luxury motorhomes, we've got it at Gillette Interstate RV.
Sure, you've heard the song. And that's great news. After the ball game is over, I say take me out to Rum Runners, Lansing's #1 nighttime fun spot and best place to go dancing. Rum Runners has 2 great clubs featuring the world-famous dual and piano, the hottest pizza today, and outrageous drink specials. Lugnuts fans, show your ticket stub and get them for free. Located at 601 East Michigan Avenue across from Oldsmobile Park. Rum Runners is a proud partner of the Lansing Lugnut radio broadcast. So after some grand slam and Lugnuts baseball, make sure that you say take me out to Rum Runners.
Top of the 4th inning, Lansing trails Cedar Rapids by a score. Now 5-3. It'll be Chirinos, Fitzgerald, and Larson here in the 4th inning. As the Lugnuts try to come back in the ball game this afternoon. The Kernels have struck for runs in the first 3 innings today. 3 runs in the 1st inning, 1 in the 2nd, and then 1 in the 3rd inning on a walk, a wild pitch, an error by Jake Fox. and a RBI ground out by Bobby Wilson. Chirinos takes the first pitch down low, 1 ball and no strikes. It's 3 o'clock here in Cedar Rapids, top of the 4th inning. 1-0 pitch. Chirinos takes inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Lansing went in order in the first inning and then scored 3 runs in the second. They went in order in the third. They're hoping to duplicate what they did in the second inning here in the 4th. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, 2-1. Chirinos homered his first time up, his 5th of the year. Lansing back to the run at 3-2. They would come back and tie the game, and the RBI single by Walker in the second inning. 2-1 pitch. Chirinos hits it hard to short. Good stop by Brandon Wood. Throw across his high, pulls the first baseman off the bag, but Polly comes down and lands on it before Chirinos can cross the bag. 1 out in the 4th inning. Good play there by Brandon Wood, the shortstop. And after giving up the single to Chris Walker, Chris Hunter has set down the last 5 Lugnuts in order. And Ryan Fitzgerald, he walked his first time up and scored on the single by Chris Walker. First pitch to Fitzgerald, he takes a fastball up and high, 1 ball and no strikes. Last 2 scores yet in the ball game. We hope to do that sometime later on. There's 1 on the pitch called strike 1-1. Not sure if we'll get those passed to us in the booth today. Not during the game. Hopefully we'll have them for you in the post-game show, sponsored by Last Year Credit Union for Life. 1-1 pitch is fouled up and into the Lugnuts dugout on the hop, 1-2. Tomorrow afternoon will be the series finale as the Lugnuts and Turtles wrap it up here in Iowa. And Ryan Dempster will be making his second rehab start for Lansing tomorrow. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Fitzgerald. And he is tagged out for the second out of the inning. 3 strikeouts now for Hunter. And 2 away in the 4th inning. Third baseman Drew Larson. Dempster tomorrow, second rehab start. Billy Petrick will be following him in the piggyback system to the for his first start. And he'll be going against the lefty Nick Touchstone. Larson takes the first pitch down low, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-1 record for Touchstone this year with a 2.22 earned run average. In line by Hunter. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Touchstone getting into that rotation with the promotion of Micah Posey, the Kernels' talented lefty. And that's a high A today. 1-1 pitch outside, 2-1. Actually was promoted after the game yesterday, so he packed up his stuff and went to California. Pitch for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. California with 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. Posey was 6-0 for the Kernels for his promotion. So Lansing is glad to see him on the way to California. 2-2 pitch to Larson, and that's hit into center field. He's going to test Cosby again. For the second time, Cosby is going to retire him to end the 4th inning. Lansing goes in order for the 3rd time in 4 frames, and we go to the bottom of the 4th, trailing 5-3 on 92.7 The Ticket.
It's Chevy Truck Fest, and there's never been a better time to get trucking to your Chevy dealer. We're making an unprecedented offer on almost every 2004 Chevy truck and SUV. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months for qualified buyers, plus $1,000 bonus cash on almost every 2004 Chevy truck and SUV. That's 0% APR, plus $1,000 bonus cash on almost every Chevy truck and SUV, like Silverado, Trailblazer, and Tahoe. Monthly payment is $16.67 for every $1,000 you finance. Average example down payment is 12%. Some customers will not qualify. See dealers for details. Take delivery by 6104. It's Chevy Truck Fest. See your local Chevy dealer today.
April is National Donate Life Month, and the National Kidney Foundation is asking all Americans to consider becoming an organ or tissue donor. The simple act of signing an organ donor card and discussing your wishes with your family may save the life of one of the 83,000 Americans currently on the waiting list for a transplant. Want more information? Learn about organ donation today or request a free donor card by calling the National Kidney Foundation at 800-622-9010. That's 800-622-9010.
We go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and the Kernels lead the Lugnuts by a score of 5-3. Carlos Marmol still out there for Lansing. He'll get Matt Polly, Tommy Duanges, and Aaron Peel here in the fourth inning. Well, some of the Cedar Rapids ground crew, they have come out to talk to the umpire here. Bob Davidson behind the home plate area. And the potential of some storms might be on their way here to the Cedar Rapids area. Before the game, that potentially by 4 o'clock these strong thunderstorms might be rolling their way into here to the state of Iowa. And the Lugnuts are certainly hoping that that's not the case. They want to try to come back and get a victory here this afternoon. For umpire Bob Davidson wants the lights turned on now. As Marmol's first pitch of the fourth inning, up high, 1 ball and no strike. Polly struck out looking for the first out in their second inning. Then he gave up a double to Tommy Duanges and a single to Aaron Peel. As that is popped up back behind the plate, and it's a ball and a strike. Onto the rooftop here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Rapids has scored a running in each of the first 3 innings, 3 in the first, 1 in the second, and then 1 in the third inning. And 1 pitch by Marmol. It's flat to the right side to Perrick. Makes a play on it, puts his body, flips underhand to Marmol, and tie. Ooh, what a play by DePerrick there. Got his body in front of it, and recovered to get the ball to Carlos Marmol for the first out here in the fourth inning. Now Polly is 0 for 2 today. And he's the catcher, Tommy Duanges. He's doubled and scored in the second inning. Kernels with 5 runs and 5 hits, no errors. Lansing 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. First pitch by Marmol. There's a strike, 0-1. Those gray clouds are still over the left field area, but now they're starting to develop out in right center and center field as well. And time called by Davidson, the home plate umpire. As Marmol was into his motion. Not bottom of the fourth inning. Lansing trails Cedar Rapids by a score of 5-3. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a change of pace, 0-2. Well, Marmol hasn't retired the Kernels in order. 1, 2, 3 in any inning so far this afternoon. 0-2 pitch. Down low to it, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'll remind Lugnuts fans that pocket schedules are available if you stop by any of your Lansing area Meyer locations. Look at the pocket schedule courtesy of the Lugnuts and our good friends at Meyer. 1-2 pitch by Marmol. Here it comes. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Strike 3. Marmol has now struck out 4 hitters in the game. Quietly racking up those strikeouts, and he's just been out of the way from recording his first 1, 2, 3 inning of the afternoon. Well, also remind Lugnuts fans that once we return back to beautiful Oldsmobile Park, the field looks great. It's kept that way by True Green Chenlock. A great job at the ballpark all season long, keeping Olds Park look great. Aaron Peel, the nice fielder, he takes the first pitch up high, 1 ball and no strike. Peel singled his first time up. Tommy Duanges over to third base. 1-0 pitch. Look at this, 1-1. White Standard starts to illuminate Veterans Memorial Stadium here in Cedar Rapids. 1-1 pitch. Right 2. As Peel tried to hold off, but it caught the corner. 1-2. And Marmol kicks him once. 1-2 pitch. Shot weakly off the plate as Peel stays alive. Well, last year when we came to Cedar Rapids in the opening game of the series, we had quite a storm blow through Veterans Memorial Stadium. Lansing eventually lost in 11 innings. A crazy ball game. Factoring the weather, and Matt Creighton got AAA. He pitched for the Lugnuts in that game. And field fouls back behind the plate. Count remains the ball and 2 strikes. That was the game that the ball players had to umpire the game. Ryan O'Malley did it for the Lugnuts. 1-2 pitch, topped on the infield on the third base side. Now it's going to go into foul territory. As Malganas fields and fires it in the crowd to a youngster along the third base side. One-two pitch by Carlos Marmol. Single liner right to Rojas, the shortstop. He goes and puts it away for the final out in the 4th inning. It is Marmol's first 1-2 for an inning of the game. The Lugnuts be able to ride that momentum in the 5th. We certainly hope so. We'll find out next on 92.7 The Ticket.
From Grand Rapids to Birmingham to Flint, Comcast customers all over Michigan are big fans of Comcast digital cable. They love all the choices it brings. Thousands of movies, sports, kid shows, and then there's the on-screen guide. It helps customers find information on all the great shows. Plus, they can set favorites and parental controls. And with HD TV compatibility, watching TV has never looked sharper or sounded better. Then there are the high-speed internet fans. What they love about that? That's a whole different commercial. Right now, Comcast digital cable and high-speed internet together for $59.98 per month for 6 months. Call 1-888-COMCAST for details. That's 1-888-COMCAST. Offer applies to the combination of Comcast standard cable, digital classic, and high-speed internet, and is available to new Comcast customers only. Service is not available in all areas. Installation, taxes, equipment charges, and other fees apply. After promotional period, standard rates apply. Call for details. Other restrictions apply. Limited time offer.
We've got Fred. That's right. Channel 6 Sports Director Fred Hewman now has his own show weekday mornings from 10 to noon only on 92.7 The Ticket. Fred is the hardest working man in Lansing sports and will bring his unique style and insight to you exclusively here on The Ticket, Lansing sports leader. Fred's a talk show host and TV anchor who actually goes out to the games that are most important to you. Imagine that. There's only one sports talk station in town, and now we've got Fred Hewman weekday mornings 10 to noon. 92.7 The Ticket. Fred also helps the ladies cross the street during his family charity and loves his mother.
To the top of the 5th inning, and the Lugnuts trail the Cedar Rapids Kernels by a score of 5-3. And they're Clammy Sosa out on the field, and he just ate a Steve Bartman impersonator. Bartman, of course, the fan that interfered with the foul ball down the third base side at Game 6 of the NLCS last year. In that 8th inning when the Cubs fell apart. And up there at Cedar Rapids introduced this guy who was dressed in Bartman's clothes as the guy that ruined it all for the Cubs last year, cost them a chance at the World Series. Now, I'm not going to deny that Bartman interfered with that ball off the bat of Miguel Cabrera for the Marlins, but no way that Steve Bartman cost the Cubs from getting to the World Series last year. First pitch, Mejia slaps it into center field. Cosby races back. He can't get it. It's going to go to the warning track. Mejia will go up into second base with a leadoff double, and the Lugnuts have a runner in scoring position here to lead off the 5th inning. The 7th double of the year for Mejia, a 2-for-2 game, and after going 0 for 18 at one point, Mejia starting to get it back together in the game today. What I mean by Steve Bartman not ruining it for the Cubs is, Cubs fans, that was Game 6. You still had Game 7 to win at home, and you couldn't get that done either, so there's no use in crying about Steve Bartman costing your chance to win the World Series. First pitch by Walker is fouled back behind the plate just to the right of us. It gives John Rogers a chance to get a souvenir, and we would have brought our fishing net. We might have had an opportunity to take a foul ball home. 1-1 pitch, and Walker takes outside 1 ball and 1 strike. At the top of the 5th inning, Cedar Rapids leads Lansing by a score of 5-3. Somebody out, and Mejia, the runner at second base. The infield is in a little bit with the third baseman, Wilson, pinched in. 1-1 pitch up high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Walker, Carlos Rojas, who is 0 for 2 today. He is the next hitter due. Walker delivered an RBI in the second inning. Can he come up here in the 5th inning and drive it in? 2-1 pitch. Walker takes out outside. Quick snap throw down to second base to Mejia. That's just in time. Now it's 3-1 on Chris Walker. They'll score 3 runs in the first inning off of Marmol, 1 in the second and 1 in the third. But they went in order in the 4th. Can Lansing use that to score here in the 5th inning? Quick snap throw back to second in time. Mejia picked off the second base as Hunter throws to the shortstop, Brandon Wood covering. And now 1 out here in the 5th inning. Well, that's going to be a big play perhaps in this ball game. We'll have to wait and see. Up there with a 3-1 count. Now 1 out and nobody on base. 3-1 pitch. Walker shows the bunt, pops it up on the infield and into foul territory. It's caught by the catcher, Dwayne. Just 2 outs just like that. A pickoff and a inability to drop a bunt down, and the Lugnuts have 2 outs and nobody on now here in the 5th inning. Carlos Rojas, the shortstop, is the hitter due. Just like that, Lansing's scoring opportunity evaporates. And here's the first pitch to Rojas. He takes the called strike, 0-1. The center kicks in line, 0-1 pitch. Rojas takes down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch, chopped on the infield, and it's going to roll foul up along the third base side. Now 1-2 on Carlos Rojas. The center in his 5th inning of work. That's the longest he's gone all season in the game. 1-2 pitch, taken outside, 2-2. So perhaps Rojas and the Lugnuts could get to him in the 6th inning. Carlos trying to start a 2-out rally here in the 5th. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Rojas evades the tag. Dwayne just is going to have to throw the first. He does in time to end the inning. It's a strikeout, the 4th of the game for Hunter. And Lansing, after the leadoff double, the pickoff play, and the foul out by Walker, they go in order in the 5th inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Lansing trails 5-3 on 92.7 the ticket.
When some banks say free checking, what they really mean is mostly free. That's not true at National City. When they say free, they mean it. And that's why my bank is National City.
At National City, free checking means no minimum balance, unlimited transactions, and free online bill payment, and no fee for using a check card. To sign up for free checking, visit any National City location or call 800-347-5626. Member FDIC.
April is National Donate Life Month, and the National Kidney Foundation is asking all Americans to consider becoming an organ or tissue donor. The simple act of signing an organ donor card and discussing your wishes with your family may save the life of one of the 83,000 Americans currently on the waiting list for a transplant. Want more information? Learn about organ donation today or request a free donor card by calling the National Kidney Foundation at 800-622-9010. That's 800-622-9010. 010. For years, the Lansing Lugnuts have quenched your thirst for some great baseball. Now, let's just quench your thirst. From the baby minds that brought you the Corona Buffett Beach Party and Beer Gobble Beauty Contest, the Lugnuts and Dan Henry Distributing team up for Molson Thirsty Thursday once again this season. Every Thursday home game during the 2004 season, Lugnut fans will be able to purchase 20-ounce beers and 22-ounce sodas for just $2. Also, be sure to try our ever-popular hot wings. Grab 4 of our tasty buffalo wings for just $2. Molson Thirsty Thursday and the Lugnuts, satisfying you all season long. The Lansing Lugnuts, where everyone gets to play.
Set that over back at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Lansing trails the Kernels by a score of 5-3 this afternoon. And in the 5th inning, the top of the order, Quan Conti, Howie Kendrick, and Brendan Wood. It's an official ball game now. As we have played 4.5 innings, and the home team is in the lead, so that makes it an official baseball game here in Cedar Rapids today. The reason I say that is because The skies are darkening around Cedar Rapids just a little bit. This is the 3:20 portion here on Sunday afternoon, May the 30th. Ron Cosby, the hitter, the leadoff man, 1 for 1 today. A triple, a run scored, and a run driven in. It's the first pitch from Marmol down low, 1 ball and no strikes. 1, 2, and 3 here in the 5th inning for the Kernels. Collected 5 hits in 4 innings off of Marmol. Lansing has 5 hits off of Chris Hunter in the first 5 innings today. 1-0 pitch outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Carlos Marmol second on 6 consecutive hitters after that walk in the 3rd inning. 2-1 now on the leadoff man Cosby as the strike catches the zone, and Carlos Marmol back on the mound ready to go at 2-1. Here's the pitch. And Cosby, did he go too far through the zone? They'll appeal out. No, says the base umpire Baki. It's 3-1. Carlos got 3 runs in the first inning off of Carlos Marmol. A solo homer by Caleb Mayer. Fouled a couple of runs. His 3-1 pitch is in for a strike, 3-2. A triple by Cosby, single by Kendrick, and a ground out by Brandon Wood. Mixed into a couple of stolen bases by Kendrick. Colonel's out to a 3-0 lead. Payoff pitch, and Cosby chops it to the left side. There's the shortstop, Rojas. He cuts across and throws in time for the first out here in the 5th inning. Now Marmol has set down 7 consecutive hitters. And here is the second baseman, Howie Kendrick. Marmol looking like Ronald Bay did yesterday. They struggled early in the ball game, but kept the Lugnuts in the game long enough for the offense to catch up, and Lansing scored a bunch of runs in the late innings to win 9-3 yesterday. This pitch to Kendrick inside 1-0. Kendrick today 1 for 2. He's rounded out the second, his last time up to end the second inning. 1-0 pitch is outside, 2 balls in those strikes. Activity in either bullpen is right now. This is the starters game, Marmol and Hunter. 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. Lansing trails Cedar Rapids 5-3. 2-0 pitch is hit in the infield and out into shallow right field now. But here the right fielder comes in and calls off Chirinos, the second baseman, for the second out in the inning. Well, Carlos Mejia's ball until he hears Chirinos, the second baseman, call, and now some rain showers have started to fall here in Cedar Rapids. It's just a light mist at this point, but the rains have started to come as the temperatures drop just a little bit. First pitch swinging is Brandon Wood, the center fielder. Walker comes over and he puts it away for the final out here in the 5th inning. And some lightning sparks as well. The Kernels go in order in the 5th inning, and they're going to call for the tarp, I believe, here. The home plate umpire, Bob Davidson, might be issuing for the tarp. So, 6th inning, Lansing trails in the game 5-3 on 92.7 the ticket.
Using the 3.5 minutes it takes to prepare a bowl of intensely cheesy Kraft Easy Mac, Pete prepares for his vocabulary quiz. As the bowl pirouettes on the microwave turntable, Pete thinks that it's copious, cheesy taste and long, profusely rich palatability on the verge of famishment. Pete now watches the microwave chronometer with marked fervor. Kraft Easy Mac, big cheesy taste, 3.5 minutes of meat time. Snap the Mac.
This Memorial Day weekend, the Kelly Auto Group is having a Salute to America sale. At Kelly GSB, you can take up to $5,000 in rebates or choose 0% financing on a 2004 GMC Sierra Extended Cab 4x4. Just $343 a month with a $3,500 rebate or an 04 GMC Envoy. You keep the $5,000 rebate. During this special sale, everyone gets GMS pricing. GM Leaf Bulletin and Tuesday. So don't wait. Stop in today. Kelly Chrysler Jeep has 2 all 300 and 300Cs in stock, ready to drive home. Chrysler Jeep inventory starting at only $189 per month. CT Cruisers just $233 a month. Ford Jeep Liberties only $233 per month. Shop Saturday 9 to 5 and Tuesday 8 to 8 with over 400 vehicles in stock. You know Kelly has what you want. Kelly Automotive Group is located a quarter mile north of US 127 on Cedar Street in Mason. Call 676-9311. That's 676-9311. Come on in and help us salute America this Memorial Day weekend and put yourself behind the wheel of that car or truck you've been dreaming about. See the Kelly Automotive Group today.
Seth Van Hoven back in Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And we go to the top of the sixth inning, but before we can even get any action, the ground crew at Cedar Rapids, led by Ron Pleen, the equipment manager extraordinaire for the Kernels. They have put the tarp on the field. Despite the superstars act going in around them, the ground crew at Veterans Memorial Stadium has put the tarp on the field. So at least at this point, we're going to be in a rain delay here in Iowa for, we're not sure how long, as the rains are starting to pick up a little bit in intensity. There were supposed to be some strong storms that were going to come in the area about 4 o'clock. We've gotten 5 innings of baseball in today, so it is an official baseball game. Cedar Rapids leads by a score of 5-3 now. If this game does get wiped away because of the wet stuff, well, we might either suspend this game and pick it up tomorrow afternoon before the start of our game in the finale of this 4-game series. But the rains are starting to come down pretty hard and heavy now. In case you're joining us, Lansing trails 5-3. The Kernels scored 3 runs in the first inning. A home run by Caleb Mayer capped off a 3-run first inning. Lansing came back to tie it in the second. 2-run homer by Chirinos and an RBI single by Chris Walker tied it at 3. But the Kernels scored a run in the second inning on a sacrifice fly by Quan Cosby. And then in the third inning, they took the 5-3 lead. A leadoff walk to Brandon Wood. He went to second on a wild pitch, went to third on an error by Jake Fox, and then a ground out by Bobby Wilson made it 5-3. So we're going to take a break and go to rain delay coverage here. Turn it back to regular programming on 92.7 The Ticket. And as soon as we have baseball back, we'll be the first to know about it here on 92.7 The Ticket.
Is on the air. Brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, making your future more predictable. National City. Pepsi, it's the cola. And Oldsmobile. And now, Lugnuts Baseball on Lansing Sports Leader, 92.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, everybody. Seth Van Hoven here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. After a delay of almost 2 hours, we're back for baseball here in Cedar Rapids. We're in the top of the sixth inning. Lansing trails the Kernels at a score of 5-3. And how do we get to this point in the ball game? Well, Lansing fell behind 3-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Howie Kendrick single. But in Quan Cosby, then an RBI ground out by Brandon Wood made it 2-0. Caleb Mayer hit a home run in the bottom of the first, and Lansing trailed 3-0. Well, Lugnuts came back and tied it in the second. A 2-run homer by Chirinos. The RBI single by Chris Walker. That made it 3-3. Cedar Rapids got a run in the second inning. Sacrifice fly by Quan Cosby, and in the third inning, they got a run and a ground out by Bobby Wilson. Kicking wide by the new Colonel pitcher. It's David Austin, and DePerick fouls the first pitch back up into the first base side, 0-1. Ryan J. 0 for 2 in the ball game. DePerick ground out on the line on Chris Hunter. He goes 5 innings, gives up 5 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 1 and struck out 4. And it's Austin, the newest Colonel, came to the team just yesterday. 0-1 pitch. DePerick takes down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Austin, 6'1", 185 pounds from Coconut Creek, Florida. Provo last year was in Rancho Cucamonga. And he was promoted to Cedar Rapids. And 1 pitch up high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Lansing 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error, 5-5-0 for the Kernels. So the grounds crew here did a great job in getting the tarp on the field and then taking care of it for us to finish up the ball game this afternoon, now evening. One pitch foul back up in the crowd. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lugnuts starter Carlos Marmol, he's probably done as well. And so he gave up 5 hits in 5 innings and is on pace to get his first loss of the year today. 2-2 pitch here to Duperic. And it's down to the dirt. Ball 3. Caught by the catcher Dwayne just and a full count now on Brian Duperic. Kevin Collins and Jake Fox here to foul in the 6th inning for Lansing. Cardinals lead Lansing by 2 runs after almost a 2-hour rain delay. Payoff pitch here to Duperic. Down low, ball 4, a leadoff walk, and that's what the Lugnuts needed to get it started here in the 6th inning. Now Collins, the time run comes to the plate, and with one swing of the bat, he could get this team back into a 5-5 tie. Collins today 0 for 2. That was against the starter, Hunter. He's on pace to get his 3rd win of the season. If his mates can hold this 2-run advantage here this afternoon. Collins steps in and taken wide by Austin. First pitch taking is Collins. Back in the inside corner, 0-1. Austin came to Cedar Rapids when Micah Posey, their ace lefty, was promoted up to Rancho Cucamonga after yesterday's ball game. So 1 pitch. Collins takes inside 1 ball and 1 strike. Some defensive changes for Cedar Rapids, except for the pitching change. Wouldn't expect any defensive changes for Lansing either. Would expect to see a new pitcher on the mound for Lansing in the bottom of the 6th inning. A lengthy rain delay for both starters to have to endure. 1-1 pitch. Collins fouls it back behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And because of the rain delay, they go right to Pistons pregame after our ball game wraps up. And the post-game show tonight, but let's hope Lansing can come back and get a victory here. Trailing the game by a score of 5-3. Ways to go. 4 innings left of baseball this afternoon. 1-2 pitch to Collins. He takes down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pivotal game 5 for the Pistons and Pacers tonight at Conseco Fieldhouse. Detroit was up 2-1 in the series. Lost game 4 at home, and then now they have to turn their attentions to game 5 tonight. 2-2 pitch to Collins. He brought the bat too far, did he? Will it fill out? No, he did not. Ball 3. Full count on Kevin Collins. So, Austin, no record for Cedar Rapids this year. He's in danger of walking the first 2 hitters here in the 6th inning. Payoff pitch. I wouldn't expect the Duperic to be running here. Here it comes. Collins follows it back behind the plate. Rattles up on the roof and back down into the stands. Not as many fans have stuck around for the completion of this game. Played some this week in baseball video highlights on the scoreboard and the rain delay and the working on the field. Entertain the fans here. Another payoff pitch here to Kevin Collins. He drives in the air to center. Cosby races back. He's on the warning track. And on the warning track, he makes the catch. Back to first goes Duperic. Looked like a top out there on the warning track, spinning around, but Cosby makes the catch. 1 out in the 6th inning. Collins gave it a drive and hit to one of the deeper parts here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. 392 feet away, Cosby made that catch. Here's Fox, the Lugnuts catcher, 1 for 2 today. He singled in the 2nd inning and grounded out the 2nd in the 3rd inning. First pitch from Austin. Fox fouls it up along the first base. It had 0-1. Fox playing in his first action in the series this afternoon. Sent out the first couple of games. Extended his hitting streak here this afternoon with a single his first time up. It's the 0-1 pitch away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fox's hitting streak is now up to 7 games after the single in the 2nd inning. Came in on Chirinos' 2-run homer. 1-1 pitch to Fox. He takes a count, strike 1 and 2. Chirinos is standing in the on-deck circle. Cedar Rapids took a 3-0 lead. It was Chirinos' 2-run homer. Got Lansing back with a run, and then Chris Walker singled and Ryan Fitzgerald in the second inning. Tie ball game at 3-3. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, and I stopped by Dwayne just as once a Turkis goes up in the air as he makes that stop. And you had to apply a lot of the diamond dirt here at the field to soak up the water. They also drained the clay here to let some of the water subside underneath the field. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Fox is out of there as Austin strikes out his first batter of the game. Now Lansing has struck out 5 times as a team today. 2 outs after the leadoff walk to the Barracks. And here's the second baseman, Robinson Chirinos. Yesterday, 1 for 2, a homer in the second inning, and then ground out to short his last time up in the fourth. First pitch from Austin Chirinos takes it, called strike 0-1. Lansing came back and tied it in the second inning. Bottom of the second, a 1-out double by Dwayne, just a single by Aaron Peel, and a sacrifice fly by Quan Cosby with Cedar Rapids back in the lead. 0-1 pitches in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. He went 4-3, and then in the third inning, Kernels came back with another run. Raymond Wood led off with a walk, went to second on a wild pitch, and then after the wild pitch by Marmol, Fox tried to throw him out going to second. With the ball into center field, up to third base went Brandon Wood. 1-1 pitch sails in high, 2 balls and a strike. Next batter, Bobby Wilson hit a ground ball to second base. The first out of the inning, Marmol set down the next 2 hitters in the inning. In fact, after the walk to Brandon Wood, we'll sit down the last 9 hitters he faced. 2-1 pitch, stopped to short. A tough play and a nice play by the shortstop Wood. He goes the short way to Howie Kendrick to end the inning. Dino Finchie's on the fielder's choice, but the Barracks on 6-4 for the final out in the 6th inning. Lansing gets a leadoff walk. They can't get him around. No runs, no hits, no errors, and they leave 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Lansing trails 5-3 on 92.7 The Ticket.
For the future and today, for what you need along the way, we'll ask you your credit union for life.
Okay, baseball fans, listen up. Here at Last Q, we've made some changes in the offseason. It's the same great team, but there's some new ground rules. Now, anyone who lives or works in Ingham, Eaton, or Clinton counties can join Last Q. We've been part of your community for more than 65 years, and now Last Q is open to everyone. Lots of branches, great products, outstanding service, and some new ground rules. Now, you can join too if you live or work in Ingham, Eaton, or Clinton counties. So make Last Q your credit union choice. Make the call, 517-321-6600. Last Q, proud exclusive sponsors of the Fireworks Series. Member NCUA.
We'll ask you your credit union for life.
April is National Donate Life Month, and National Kidney Foundation is asking all Americans to consider becoming an organ or tissue donor. The simple act of signing an organ donor card and discussing your wishes with your family may save the life of one of the 83,000 Americans currently on the waiting list for a transplant. Want more information? Learn about organ donation today or request a free donor card by calling the National Kidney Foundation at 800-622-9010. That's 800-622-9010.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Chris Gross will take over for Lansing on the mound. He's wearing number 29 today, so I think some of the guys here on this road trip are just switching up the uniform numbers. The unis coming in, and you see Carlos Mejia switch to number 16 in this series, and now Chris Gross wore number 23 before. He's going to 29 now. And Bobby Wilson will lead it off here for the Kernels in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ticket Gross's first pitch up high, 1 ball and no strikes. So the final line of Marble, 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. Wilson chopped it to short. There's Rojas. Throw across the diamond. Stretched by the Barrack in time. 1 out in the 6th inning. Marmol on the way to get his first loss of the year. We said that in his last outing at home against West Michigan. And the Lugnuts rallied in that game, but they'll have to rally here tonight to avoid the loss here in Cedar Rapids. Into the sixth inning, Lansing trails 5-3. Caleb Mayer, first pitch swinging, lines it right back up the middle into center field. His first at that, he did that. He put it out into the left field pavilion on the 8th Street. In fact, there's 2 hits now. Cedar Rapids has 6 in the game, and here's the left fielder, Sean Rodriguez. 0 for 2 today with a fly out and a strikeout. If you're just joining us, wondering, well, this game must be in the 15th or 16th inning. No, we're in the bottom of the 6th. We had about a rain delay in Cedar Rapids this afternoon. Some strong storms moving through the area, but they've moved out. First pitch to Rodriguez outside, 1 ball and no strikes. And he comes righty here. Just comes out the mound for the Lugnuts. We'll give you the numbers on Gross in just a second. 1-0 pitch called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gross on the season. He's 1-0 with a 2.76 earned run average. His 9th appearance. He's worked 16 2/3 innings, given up 17 hits, 5 earned runs. He's walked 3 and struck out 12. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2 now. As Gross found a change of pace across the zone that Rodriguez did not catch up with his bat. Even though he hit 246 against Chris Gross. Another runner at first. And now throws over to first base. Season Caleb Mayer. He's stolen 1 base and caught twice. Had a big threat to run in his second season for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. 1-2 pitch on the way. Rodriguez chops it out in front of the plate. Catcher Fox pops out, field, throws to first in time to retire Sean Rodriguez. On the play, Mayer goes up to second base. Now 2 outs in the inning, and here is the first baseman, Matt Pollock. The Lugnuts down to their last 9 outs in this ball game. They will have Fitzgerald, Larson, and Mejia. The hitters are due in the 7th inning for Lansing. Carlos Mejia, he's 2 for 2 today. Single in the 2nd inning. He doubled to lead off the 5th. He was picked off from second base in that 5th inning. Moving to lefty here as Gross comes 7th about, and the lead summit Missouri native. That was a strike in, nothing in 1. Gross stands on the mound, 6'3", 185 pounds in his 2nd professional season. He was signed by the Cubs last year. He's been set at the belt. And the 0-1 pitch on the way. And Polly takes down low and ball 1 strike. Polly today is 0 for 2. He struck out looking his first time in the 2nd inning. And his last time up, this defensive play by Brian DeParrott. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. And we did get some last few scores. Heard that the Cubs won today, 12-1 in Pittsburgh. So that's what the Cubs needed after some tough losses in Steel City. Over the weekend, they took the victory 12-1 today. 2-1 pitch, and Polly takes a strike. Nice pitch by Gross as he brought a little slider across the plate. Caught the inside corner of the strike zone to the left-handed hitter Polly, and then now 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lansing trails Cedar Rapids by score. They have Caleb Mayer at second base to the Kernels. And Gross trying to close out the 6th inning. 2-2 pitch. Taking a line shot over to Parrick's head into right field. This is going to get down for extra bases. As here comes Mayer to score. Up to the second base goes Polly. Mejia having trouble in the corner and right. A high throw, and it's late to third. A RBI triple for Matt Polly, and now it's a 6-3 game. RBI number 25 for Polly, and he drives home Mayer. A big 2-out hit there, and the Kernels back up by 3 runs. For Polly, it's his 2nd 3-bagger of the season. That's his job here coming in the 6th inning. Just hold the lead at a couple runs. The Lugnuts have shown recently the ability to be able to come back from a deficit. They haven't been able to do it much this season. When they trail after 6 innings, they are only 2-23 on the season. First pitch to Duenas. He fouls it back behind the plate. 0-1. The catcher, Duenas, is 1 for 2 today. He doubled in the 2nd inning. He came in on the sacrifice fly by Quan Cosby, and then in the 4th inning, he struck out swinging. Wants to shoot today for Dwayne Distan. That pitch is hit pretty well to left. Fitzgerald goes back on the warning track. He can't get it. It's going to be another extra base hit as Dwayne just moves up into second base. Here comes Polly to score. And the Kernels put the lead up to 7-3 now on back-to-back extra base hits here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Dwayne just RBI number 11. Second double of the game. He's up to 7 now on the season. And here's the right fielder, Aaron Peel. Now the lights are all lit here at Veterans Memorial Stadium still, but the sunshine over the Cedar Rapids area. That's down into the left side. Rojas field into the dirt, throw to first in time. It'll end it for the Kernels in the sixth inning, but they get 2 runs after 2 are out. On 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 1. And we go to the 7th. Lansing now trails by 4, 7-3 on 92.7 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Dick from Carlos Parks Place, and everybody here is excited about celebrating our 40th birthday. You might remember what it was like working on your car in 1963, but today most of us need professional help. That's why we support ASC and the professional technician. We'll be hosting special events and promotions all year long at your neighborhood Parks Place store. Just imagine 40 years of quality replacement parts for your car and 40 years of quality customer service. When you need a part, go where the pros go.
The following is an important announcement from Challenge Mortgage. No matter what your credit situation is, Challenge Mortgage can help. Whether you have good credit, bad credit, no credit, been turned down for a loan, want to consolidate debt, rebuild your credit, or get cash out, Challenge Mortgage has great programs regardless of your credit situation. Do it now while the rates are low. Call today, 877-922-2522.
Big enough to get the job done and small enough to care. Challenge Mortgage. We'll find a way.
Your feet are twitching. Pumping the gas, going for the brakes. Your son, the new driver, is at the wheel. He's doing fine, but you're having a hard time. Maybe you're not comfortable trusting all this to a company, car insurance company. Maybe you should move up to a State Farm agent. You feel better about the coverage you need and the discounts available. Having a State Farm agent might even calm those restless feet of yours.
Count on the insurance company more families with young drivers drive. Get yourself a State Farm agent. State Farm, providing insurance and financial services.
Top of the 7th inning. Now Lansing trails by 4 runs. It'll come up with 2 2-out runs in the 6th inning. RBI triple by Matt Polly to right, and then an RBI double to left center by Tommy Dwayne just made it. A 4-run deficit for Lansing here in the top of the 7th inning. Once again, Carlos Mejia having all sorts of problems out in that right field corner. With the triple by Matt Polly. First pitch to Fitzgerald. There's a call, strike nothing and 1 as David Austin brings his first pitch strike here in the 7th inning. Fitzgerald today is 0 for 1. Walking a run scored. He's stuck on his last time up. 0-1 pitch. Take that for a call, strike nothing and 2. At this point in the ball game, after that lengthy rain delay, Bob Davidson's strike zone is going to get real big real quick. 0-2 pitch by Austin. Called strike 3. Fitzgerald took it on the outside corner, and just an example of what I was talking about right there. Maybe a little bit outside earlier in the ball game, but because of the lengthy rain delay, the umpires want to get the game over as quickly as possible, more than likely, and the strike zone is going to be a little bigger for the pitchers, so the hitters are going to have to go up there and hat. Larson tacking first pitch, and he fouls it just down the left field line. Nothing in 1. Larson today 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to center field. He hit the ball hard his first 2 times up, and he hit the ball hard there in the first pitch here in the 7th. Well, 1 pitch, swing and a miss, nothing in 2. There's a good change of pace by Austin. Carlos Mejia, he's waiting on deck for the Lugnuts here in the 7th inning. Taking 1, 0-2 pitch, called strike 3, Larson. On the outside corner once again, Davidson rings up Drew Larson. And 2 outs here in the 7th inning. We want to thank all of the Lugnut fans that have stuck around for this rain delay. Hope you enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend so far. We certainly have here in Cedar Rapids as Mejia takes the first pitch down low for a ball 1-0. Now it's game Memorial Day. 1-0 pitch. It's a grounder to the left side. Fielded by the third baseman. Wood across the diamond. The Wilson across the diamond in time. 1-2-3 inning for Lansing in the setup. We'll head to the bottom of the seventh. Stretch time. After a long rain delay, it's a good thing to stretch. Do that next year on 92.7 The Ticket.
Pepsi brings you the history of lunch.
A brief history of the hamburger. Hamburgers are named after the town of Hamburg, where it first became popular to grind up cow meat. Why? I don't know. Maybe these people hated cows. Maybe they bred a particularly vicious strain of cow that had to be put in check. I don't know, but that's what they did. They ground them up. Anyway, years later, dudes in Texas figured out if you put that patty between two slices of bread, it tastes good. And they called it a hamburger, which really ticked off the cow-hating people of Hamburg, because that's what they called themselves. Man, irony is wasted on some people. Anyway, who teamed up a hamburger with a Pepsi, and the great American lunch was born. And that is sweet. A hamburger and ice cold Pepsi. And all because a bunch of people had a problem with cows and ground them up. Come on, people. That's not cooking. That's a vendetta.
Without Pepsi, it's just not lunch. Pepsi, it's the cola.
The future's looking better and brighter every day. We're neighbors and friends who stand beside you all the way. Always there when you need us. People you can trust. Your family and future are always safe with us. We're making your future more predictable. On your insurance.
Out of the seventh inning, Lansing trails by a score of 7-3. And the top of the order here for Cedar Rapids in the seventh, Cosby, Kendrick, and Brandon Wood. First look at Chris Gross, who came on in the sixth inning. Turned off well, did Grossi. Ground up to short, and a single by Caleb Baer. Ground up to second. And it was 2 outs, runner on second base. First pitch to Cosby comes inside, 1 ball, no strikes, but then back-to-back extra base hits brought in 2 runs for Cedar Rapids. They push that lead up to 7-3. 1-0 pitch by Gross. There's the called strike, 1-1. Lansing today, 3 runs, 5 hits in the air. Cedar Rapids, 7 runs, 8 hits. And they have committed no errors in the field. 1-1 pitch by Chris Gross. There's a change of pitch outside, 2-1. 2 balls and strikes. Strike as Gross missed outside with that curveball. Kelsey up in the hitter count, 2-1. Here's a pitch by Gross. It's a fastball. Hit to the right side by Parrick's field. Close play at the bag, and Gross just beats Quasi by a half a step. 3-1 on the put out for the first out here in the seventh inning. And here's the second baseman, Howie Kendrick. 1 for 3 today. He drove in a run in the first inning with an RBI single. Drove a couple of bases and then came in on the ground out by Brandon Wood. Cedar Rapids put up 3 in the first inning. A couple days ago, the Kernels put up 3 runs in that first inning. This pitch to Kendrick is taken outside, 1 ball and no strike. And now time called by the Colonel's second baseman, Howie Kendrick from Callahan, Florida. 1 pitch, chopped right back to Gross. He fields and runs towards first base. A high throw by Gross, and the Parrick saved him on that one. Holy cow. The routine play, and Gross almost made it into an adventure on that first base line, as the Parrick had used all 76 inches of his height to save an error on that one. 2 outs in the inning. 1-3 on that put out, so a 3-1 put out, now a 1-3 put out. Here to start the seventh inning for the Kernels. 2 out, nobody on. Here's the shortstop, Brandon Wood. It's in wide, Wood. The first pitch outside, 1 ball, and no strike. Hold today is 2 with a walk and a run scored. No pitch by Chris Gross, and taken outside again. 2 balls and no strikes. Lansing scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Early in the week against West Michigan. Little pitch misses outside, 3-0. We're going to have to pick up with one of those comeback efforts here this evening in Cedar Rapids. Going to call up the evening hours. Back almost near 7 o'clock at Michigan. 3-0 pitch up high, ball 4. A 2-out walk to Wood, the second time he's done a free pass today. And that extends in for the third baseman, Bobby Wilson. 0 for 3 today. Wilson caught first 2 games of this series, and today moves to the infield for Bobby Malgana and the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Comes with Brian DePerick, the Lugnuts first baseman. First pitch to Wilson. It's hit in the air to right. This is going to get down in front of Mejia for a base hit. But up the second base is Brandon Wood. He'll put on the brakes. Wilson gets the base hit. And Chirinos going to put some more 2-out runs here on the board of the 7th inning. They got a pair in the 6th. And this is their 9th hit of the ball game. On that single by Bobby Wilson. He's a mere 2 for 3. He singled off from Gross. And scored in the 6th inning. Gross is now giving up 4 hits in the inning in 2/3. He's also walked a batter. Hasn't struck anybody out yet. It's a called strike, 0-1. He's taken a swing at the first pitch in 2 of his 3 at-bats today. And both times he's swung at the first pitch, he's gotten the base hit. A homer his first time up in the 1st inning, and then that single in the 6th inning. Good line by Gross, the 0-1 pitch down the dirt and through the legs of Jake Fox. Up to third base goes Brandon Wood. Up to second base goes Bobby Wilson. And what should be a pass ball to catcher Jake Fox. We'll have to wait and see on the official scoring on that one. But you credit those runners move up 90 feet each base, and now Mayer could deliver 2 more runs for the Kernels with a single. Got a 1-1 count on deck for the Kernels just in case Mayer should happen to reach as their left fielder, Sean Rodriguez. And 1 pitch from Gross. Fouled back behind the plate, 1-2. And Mayer may have chased the pitch way out of the zone on that one. The foul is back behind the plate. Rodriguez had to enjoy this weather. The rain must have reminded him of being back in Miami. It's coming down pretty hard for a little while here in Iowa. It's a pitch on the way. And Mayer swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Fox applies the tag. There's a shadow in between home plate and the mound now, and that may have helped Gross in that situation. That'll do it for the Kernels in the 7th inning. As they get no runs on 2 hits. No errors, and they lead 2. We'll head to the 8th. Lansing trails Cedar Rapids 7-3 on 92.7 The Ticket. Picked off, and on the next play, Walker tried to butt his way out and popped it up. Catcher Duenas made the play. There's a line shot right to second. Howie Kendrick killed field and put it in away for the first out here in the 8th inning. And out in here is Carlos Rojas, the shortstop. 0 for 3 today. Struck out swinging his last time up. And Jake Fox extended his hitting streak to 7 games. Kevin Collins, his 12-game consecutive on-base streak is still in jeopardy. As Rojas is hit by the pitch on the left leg as Austin brought it in a little bit too far inside. As Rojas takes his base. We're on first base now for Lansing, and here's Brian DePerick, the first baseman. Austin on the season, that's his first hit batter with the Kernels. And here's DePerick, a chance to hit here in the 8th inning with a runner on first base with 1 out. Careful for 2 today, walked his last time up in the 6th inning. First pitch to DePerick, a swing and a miss, 0-1. And he was trying to make it 7-5 with that swing, and couldn't catch up with the fastball from Austin. It's 0-1 with Collins looming on deck, doing some stretching in that on-deck circle. And 1 pitch. DePerick takes down low, a ball and a strike. If DePerick can reach here, Collins could come to the plate and launch one out of Veterans Memorial Stadium, make it a 1-run game, and Lansing back to it with a run in quite a hurry. On 1 pitch, DePerick. He takes the called strike in the outer corner, 1-2. Now players have to make an adjustment here after this rain delay. That strike zone is going to get bigger for Bob Davidson. They have to go up there and take hacks with those pitchers on the outer corner. 1-2 pitch here from Austin. DePerick lines it, and it hits the Lugnuts hitting instructor Mike Macucci right in the chest on the first base side. Macucci has gone over to the first base side to do some coaching duties, and Julio Garcia, the Lugnuts manager, we haven't seen him out at third base a lot this year coaching, but he's coaching at third base here in the late innings after the rain delay. Cooch is okay along that first base side. 1-2 pitch to the Parakin. He swings and lines it into left field. A base hit. Up to second base goes Rojas. And Collins a chance to hit here in the eighth with the runner in scoring position. And Collins, who's 0 for 3 today, he's going to get an opportunity to drive in RBI number 40 if he can deliver a base hit. Cardinals have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. Kincaid with Aaron pulling the righty. You've seen him earlier in this series. And Collins up there with 1 out. Jake Fox is the next hitter due for Lansing. He has not shown his face in the on-deck circle as of yet. As the catcher Dwayne just has go out and talked to David Austin here. This is the first inning that Lansing has turned it around on Austin a little bit. The hit by pitch, and then was singled by the parent. Now has collected hits in each game of this series. Starting to come around a little bit with the bat is the big drill. First pitch to Collins. He swings and hits it. And it's going to roll foul up along the first base side. 0-1. Would have been the same thing as a swingy bump there if that would have stayed in fair territory. Rojas and Gaparic would have moved up a base, but more than likely Collins would have been thrown out on the play at first base. At the top of the eighth inning, Lansing trails 7-3. They have Rojas at second base and Gaparic to run at first base. Well, this is the spot that Collins has been clutching all season long for Lansing. One pitch here from Austin. Collins takes a strike right down the middle of the plate, 0-2, and he wants to have that pitch back at that. Right down the middle, and he took it for a called strike. He's in the hole 0-2. Good job here by Austin to get ahead of Collins. That about taps his bat on the home plate area. He's the bat back behind his helmet. 0-2 pitch here from Austin. Swing and a strike 3, and a change of pace gets Collins as he strikes out for the third time today. And 2 outs now. Here's Jake Fox to catch it. And Fox come up with a big hit for Lansing here in the eighth inning. Pick up Collins, his teammate who walks back to the third base dugout near the Veterans Memorial Stadium. There's a pitch from Fox. All up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Just thinking about home at Oldsmobile Park. So the Lugnuts have their first base dugout. He'll be back there on June the 1st when he hosts the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers for a quick 4-game series. An old pitch to Fox. He lines it on the infield. There's the shortstop. And he's going to go the short way to second as Wood goes to Kendrick for the final out here in the eighth inning. Lansing threatens, but after they put first and second with 1 out, strikeout to Collins and the Fox out on fielder's choice to end the eighth inning. We'll go to the bottom of the eighth. Lansing trails 7-3 on 92.7 The Ticket.
It's Chevy Truck Fest, and there's never been a better time to get trucking to your Chevy dealer. We're making an unprecedented offer on almost every 2004 Chevy truck and SUV. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months for qualified buyers, plus $1,000 bonus cash on almost every 2004 Chevy truck and SUV. That's 0% APR, plus $1,000 bonus cash on almost every Chevy truck and SUV, like Silverado, Trailblazer, and Tahoe. Monthly payment is $16.67 for every $1,000 you finance. Average and cancel down payment is 12%. Some customers will not qualify. See dealers for details. Take delivery by 6104. It's Chevy Truck Fest. See your local Chevy dealer today.
The Lansing Lugnuts and Dan Henry Distributor would like to be the first to invite you to Lugnut Charities Night on August 14th at Oldsmobile Park. Lugnut Charities is a fund dedicated to creating new opportunities and supporting existing programs for youth in the community. Since its beginning, Lugnut Charities has contributed over $150,000 to the community, and Lugnut Charities Night and the silent auction helps make that possible. Join us as we continue this tradition of excellence and fun here at Olds Park. The Lansing Lugnuts, where everyone gets to play.
We go to the bottom of the eighth inning. Lansing trails by a score of 7-3, and a trifecta of changes for the Lugnuts here at the bottom of the eighth inning, as Drew Larson has come in to play first base for Lansing. Christian pops down to that third base spot, goes over to first base, and Alberto Garcia, he is in the game at third base. So Garcia, he will hit in the spot occupied by Brian DeParrott in the 3-hole in the lab, and Alberto Mendez is on the mound for Lansing. Sean Rodriguez is the leadoff man for the Kernels in the eighth. He takes Mendez's first offering for a strike, nothing, and 1. Final line on Chris Gross in just a second. As Mendez kicks the line, 0-1 pitch, down low for ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. On and Chris Gross, 2 innings, 4 hits allowed to give up 2 earned runs, walked 1 and struck out 1. Mendez comes on here in the eighth inning. 1-1 pitch. Rodriguez shows butt and pulls back. It's 2-1. Mendez from Azua in the Dominican Republic, 6'2", 270-pound righty, set at the belt. And the 2-1 pitch to Sean Rodriguez. He swings and hits it hard and foul up along the first base side, 2-2. On the season for the Lugnuts, Mendez 2-1, 3.08 earned run average, his 23rd appearance of the year. That leads the league. His 14 saves also lead the league. This is not a safe situation for Mendez today. 2-2 pitch, just outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 26 in the third innings pitch for Mendez. He's given up 18 base hits, 9 earned runs. He's walked 9 and struck out 24. And the league hits just 191 off of the righty Mendez. Payoff pitch here to Rodriguez, and he lines this in the air right. Now he is over, and he puts it away for the first out here in the eighth inning. Rodriguez an 0 for 4 day today, and I'm sure that he would not like to get a 5th plate appearance in this game, only because it means the Lugnuts would rally in the 9th inning. 1 out, and here's the first baseman, Matt Pally. 1 for 3 today with an RBI triple his last time up. 6 lines, righty against lefty here. It's curveball inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Kernels with 9 innings in the game, 7 runs. Lansing 3 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike, 1-1. And Dwayne, just the catcher, is on deck. He's 2 for 3 with 2 doubles and an RBI and a run score. 1-1 pitch, and that's hit in the air to center field. Pretty deep. Walker goes back on the warning track, and he leaps up against the fence, and he makes the catch. Chris Walker makes the catch in center field, and he takes another extra base hit away from the Kernels here in Cedar Rapids today. Two outs in the inning, and here's the catcher, Dwayne. Walker with a 1 for 4 day today, but makes a nice running catch there to prevent another hit for the Kernels. First pitch from Mendez. Dwayne just hits this in the air to left. Fitzgerald goes back and he puts it away for the final out in the 8th inning. 9-8-7. Those are the flyouts for the Kernels in the 8th, and we're hoping the Lugnuts can put up a 6th spot in the 9th. And down by 4 as we go to the 9th. Lansing needs 4 tie next on 92.7 The Ticket.
Using the 3.5 minutes it takes to prepare a bowl of intensely cheesy Kraft Easy Mac, Pete prepares for his vocabulary quiz. As the bowl pirouettes on the microwave turntable, Pete thinks that its copious cheesy taste and long, profusely rich palatability on the verge of famishment. Pete now watches the microwave chronometer with marked fervor. Kraft Easy Mac, big cheesy taste, 3.5 minutes of mean time. Snap the Mac.
This Memorial Day weekend, the Kelly Auto Group is having a Salute to America sale. At Kelly GMC, you can take up to $5,000 in rebates or choose 0% financing. How about a 2004 GMC Sierra Extended Cab 4x4? It's just $343 a month with a $3,500 rebate. Or an 04 GMC Envoy. You keep the $5,000 rebate. During this special sale, everyone gets GMS pricing. GM Leaf Bullhead and Tuesday. So don't wait. Stop in today. Kelly Chrysler Jeep has two all-new 300 and 300Cs in stock ready to drive home. Chrysler Sebring starting at only $189 per month. PT Cruisers just $233 a month. 04 Jeep Liberty only $233 per month. Shop Saturday 9 to 5 and Tuesday 8 to 8 with over 400 vehicles in stock. You know Kelly has what you want. Kelly Automotive Group is located a quarter-mile north of US 127 on Cedar Street in Mason. Call 676-9311. That's 676-9311. Come on in and help us salute America this Memorial Day weekend and put yourself behind the wheel of that car or truck you've been dreaming about. See the Kelly Automotive Group today.
Top of the ninth inning, the last chance for Lansing today in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Lansing needs 4 runs to tie the game. And they'll turn to Chirinos, Fitzgerald, and Larson here in the ninth inning. They'll do it against the new pitcher for the Kernels, lefty Scott Heinzman. 6'4", 220 from Iverness, Illinois. Pitched in Mesa and Provo last year for the Angels in their Arizona League and Pioneer League affiliates. And he comes on in relief of David Austin, who did a great job in his first appearance for the Kernels this year. 3 innings pitched a hit. He struck out 4 and walked 1. And he turns it over to the lefty Heinzman. On the season, Heinzman 0-1 with a 6.60 earned run average, his 14th game. 15 innings pitched, 13 hits allowed, 11 earned runs, 24 walks to 19 strikeouts. The league hits 228 off of Heinzman. It'll be Chirinos, Fitzgerald, and Larson. And when Lansing staged their 4-run rally at Oldsmobile Park against the West Michigan Whitecaps on Tuesday, it was Chirinos who started it with a single. First pitch, Chirinos takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Lansing scored 4 in the ninth of that ball game, then 1 in 11 innings. 1-0 pitch. Chirinos takes up high, 2 balls and no strikes, and this is exactly how Chirinos at bat started in Lansing. He was ahead of the count 2-0, and he lifts a single off the Lugnuts closer, for the Whitecaps closer, I beg your pardon, Chris Homer. Cool pitch to Chirinos. He takes a called strike, 2-1. Look off the outer edge. 2 balls and a strike now on Chirinos. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Hyman. That's too far inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. 6, 7, and 8 here for the Lugnuts in the ninth. 3-1 pitch. Chirinos takes inside, ball 4. A leadoff walk to start the ninth inning for the Lugnuts. And here is Ryan Fitzgerald. Carlos Marmol has not lost all season long. Lansing has not lost a game that Marmol has pitched in all season long, but Lugnuts have their work cut out for him here today. First pitch swinging is Fitzgerald, 0-1. Goes after the first pitch. Chirinos walked in front of him. He needed the pitcher Hyman throw him a strike, but Fitzgerald goes after the 0-1 pitch. And he takes the Jets offering down away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Larson, who started the game at third base and moved to first base defensively in the 8th inning. He's on deck. 1-1 pitch inside, 2-1. Too far inside, and Fitzgerald up in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Lansing staged another 4-run rally here today. 2-1 pitch from Hyman. Fitzgerald goes after it and fouls it back behind the plate, 2-2. A few fans here left in the stands at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and like the catcher Tommy Duane just may have been hit by the swing of Fitzgerald on that one. As the trainer Brian Reinkart is going to come out and take a look at his catcher Tommy Duane. Well, Lansing fell behind once again in this game, 3-0 in the first inning. Leadoff triple by Quan Cosby, a single by Howie Kendrick, and then Later in the inning, ground out by Brandon Wood. A homer by Caleb Mayer made it 3-0. Lansing came back to tie the game in the second inning. Single by Fox. A 2-run homer by Chirinos. Fitzgerald drew a walk. And came in later in the inning, an RBI single by Chris Walker. Bobby Wilson, the third baseman, is come in on the infield. He might be coming in to catch here for the remainder of this ball game. You want to see if Dwayne just can make a couple of throws here to the pitcher, Scott Heinman. Heinman and Dwayne just are just playing catch, and it looks like that Dwayne just is going to stay in the game as Bobby Wilson's going to go back to third base. A little bit of approval from the Cedar Rapids home crowd. So Lansing had tied it at 3, but then the Kernels came back with a run in the second inning. Sacrifice fly by Cosby and a ground out by Wilson in the third inning. Put the Kernels up by 2 runs at 5-3. 2-2 pitch fouled back behind the plate, and it remains 2-2. And for that lengthy rain delay, Kernels got 2 runs with 2 outs in the 6th inning. How big are those runs right now in this ball game? 2-2 pitch. Fitzgerald swinging a miss. Strike 3. He's out of there. It's a 3 strikeout game for Fitzgerald. And Heinman gets his first strikeout of the evening. And here's Drew Larson. Larson's 0 for 3 today after a 2-homer game yesterday. Off the air, the Lugnuts in the third inning set up a run for the Kernels, and then 2 out, 2 runs here in the 7th inning. Larson goes after the first pitch into left field, a base hit. Up to second base goes Chirinos, as Drew Larson doesn't want to go back to Best Western Cooper's Mill quite yet. He's got a base hit, 1 for 4. Now here's Mejia, who is 2 for 3 today. Lansing would love to give their big sluggers of DePerrick and Collins another crack at it here in the 9th inning. Still a ways to go to get back to the... Let that happen for Collins again in the ball game. You'd have to send 4 more hitters to the plate. With 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. Not an impossible task, but work is going to get cut out for us. Swing and a miss by Mejia, 0-1. Mejia today 2 for 3. He singled in the second, doubled in the 5th inning, and then grounded out to third in the 7th inning. Only comes up the belt, and his 0-1 pitch is fouled up in the crowd, 0-2. And he went after that inside curve and fouled it up into the crowd on the first base side. Now it's in an 0-2 hole. Chris Walker waiting on deck for the Lugnuts. On a game-ending double play, he'll bat here tonight. It's a chopper to second. This could be 2. Kendrick to short for 1. It's stopped by the shortstop, and everybody's safe. Brandon Wood dropped the little shovel pitch from Howie Kendrick, and now the bases are loaded. It's going to draw a visit from the Kernels pitching coach, Eric Bennett. An error on the shortstop, Brandon Wood. Has loaded the bases for the Lugnuts here in the 9th inning. E6 gets Chirinos up to third base and Larson safely into second. That's the Lugnuts can get a couple hits here in the inning. Collins would come up to the point with a chance to potentially tie this game up. The Lugnuts have shown a lot of fight lately in the last week or so in situations like this. This is a team that early in the season, when he fell behind by a lot of runs early in the game, that pack it up and go home. Walker takes the first pitch up high, 1 ball and no strike, but not lately for the Lugnuts. I know on Chris Walker. Heinman comes up the 1-0 pitch. Taken down low, ball 2. The Kernels have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. It's their closer, Bob Zimmerman. Heinman has fallen behind Walker. 2 balls and no strikes. Lansing staged another comeback here tonight. 2-0 pitch. Up high, ball 3. 3-0. And I think this could be Hyman's last hitter right here. If he walks Chris Walker. Zimmerman is throwing moderately down that first base side. Walker better be taking 3-0. He is. It's a called strike 3-1. And the Kernels had a chance to end the game on a double play grounder off the out of Carlos Mejia. 3-1 pitch, couldn't do it. Walker swings and fouls it back behind the plate. 3-2 now. Now a full count on Chris Walker with Carlos Rojas waiting in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch to Walker. Bases loaded, 1 out. Swinging a drive up on the first base side that'll go up into the crowd. Reparica's out of the game, so Alberto Garcia will hit behind Carlos Rojas here. A little payoff pitch to Walker. Called strike 3. Ooh, on the pitch there by Hyman. He brought a fastball right across the plate, and Walker took it for called strike 3. 2 outs now in Lansing. Down to their last hitter. It's Rojas, potentially. Last potential hitter, Carlos Rojas. Rojas, no homers on the season. This would be an opportune time for number 1 right here. Lefty against righty as Rojas steps to the plate. Goes after the first pitch and hits it in the air to center field. This should be the game. Cosby puts it away, and that'll do it for Lansing. So much for that rally in the 9th. Lugnuts load the bases with 1 out, but they leave them that way, and that'll do it for the game here in Cedar Rapids today. Final score, Cedar Rapids wins it by a score of 7-3. And we'll take a quick break and come back and give you a short post-game show. And then we'll get you out to Pistons basketball after that. We'll do that next on 92.7 The Ticket.
You've been listening to Lugnuts Baseball on 92.7 The Ticket. Brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, making your future more predictable. National City, Pepsi, It's the Cola, and Oldsmobile. Stay tuned. The Lugnuts post-game show with Chuck Van Hoven is next on 92.7 The Ticket.
It's the domain of legends. One capable of causing the whole country to hold its breath while waiting for that. One smooth motion of a wrist and an entire nation strains aside, each one urging that little white ball on until it's going. Now imagine these little sticks in which you know every line, every wrinkle as sure as you can guess their average from last year. And now they're all turned to you, expectant.
Make that sure, right?
Yeah, kid, that's the one. For a child with a lack recommends, being a bat boy for his favorite team wasn't the end of all his youthful hopes. It was the beginning of them. Visit the Make-A-Wish Foundation at wish.org and share the power of a wish.
When some banks say free checking, what they really mean is mostly free. That's not true at National City. When they say free, they mean it. And that's why my bank is National City.
At National City, free checking means no minimum balance, unlimited transactions, and free online bill payments, and no fee for using your check card. To sign up for free checking, visit any National City location or call 800-347-5626. Member FDIC.
Big John is taking on you. Down here in Oakland Road on West Saginaw and at Brandor. Experience the thrill of the drill.
When it comes to trailers and motorhomes, nobody does it like Gillette Interstate RV. Hi, this is Jerry, inviting you and your family to come out to Gillette's today. We have Mid-Michigan's largest selection of both new and pre-owned pop-ups, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes, with over 300 units to fit your budget. Have you been thinking about getting a pop-up? How about a new Jayco pop-up starting at a low $79 a month? So remember, when it comes to you getting the most affordable pop-up to luxury motorhomes, we've got it at Gillette Interstate RV.
Sure, you've heard the song.
And that's great news. But after the ball game is over, I say take me out to Rum Runners, Lansing's #1 nighttime fun spot, and best place to go dancing. Rum Runners has 2 great clubs featuring the world-famous dueling piano, the hottest pizza today, and outrageous drink specials. Lugnut fans, show your tickets up and get in for free. Located at 601 East Michigan Avenue, across from Oldsmobile Park. Rum Runners is the proud partner of the Lansing Lugnut radio broadcast. So after some grand slam and Lugnut baseball, make sure that you say, take me out to Rum Runners.
It's the Lugnuts post-game show with Seth Van Hoven on 92.7 The Ticket. Now, the voice of the Lugnuts, Seth Van Hoven.
Seth Van Hoven back at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where today the Lugnuts lose a tough one by a score of 7-3. Tough because they lost on the scoreboard. Also tough because they had to endure almost a 2-hour rain delay, and then didn't have the ability to come back after that rain delay to get the victory this afternoon/evening here in Cedar Rapids. Well, time now for the Farm Bureau Insurance Game Summary, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, making your future more predictable. And the Kernels jumped out to the early lead once again, the second straight day here in Cedar Rapids. They put 3 on the board in the first inning. Quan Cosby led off with a triple. Howie Kendrick singled him in to make it 1-0. And then Kendrick was off to the races as he stole second, stole third, and came in on the ground out by Brandon Wood to make it a 2-0 Cedar Rapids lead. Batter later, Caleb Mayer went after the first pitch from Carlos Marmol and hit it out of the ballpark. And I mean hit it out of the ballpark onto 8th Street here in Cedar Rapids. And after an inning of play, Cedar Rapids led Lansing 3-0. The Lugnuts showed some fight. They came back and scored 3 runs in the second inning to tie it up. 1 out, Jake Fox had a single to extend his inning streak to 7 games. And Lansing Chirinos launched a home run to left. A 2-run shot, his 5th of the year, and Lansing was within a run at 3-2. And Fitzgerald then drew a walk from Colonel starter Chris Hunter. Drew Larson lined out to center field pretty sharply. Carlos Mejia fouled with a single to put runners at first and third. Chris Walker then singled into center field. They drive home Fitzgerald to tie the score at 3. Mejia went to third on the play, but Carlos Rojas, he flew out the right to end the inning and end the threat for Lansing. The Colonels would come back with a run in the second inning. With 1 out, Tommy Duane just doubled, and Peel singled him up to third. And Quan Cosby hit a sacrifice by the center as Walker's throw was a little bit late, and Duane just scored from third base to make it 4-3 Cedar Rapids. In the third inning, a tough run for Lansing to give up. The leadoff walk to Brandon Wood. Went to second on a wild pitch by Marmol. On the same play, Jake Fox, the Lugnuts catcher, tried to gun down Wood on the base pass, and his throw was way high into center field. Up to third base went Brandon Wood. On the error by Fox, Bobby Wilson then hit a ground ball to second. With potentially maybe then 1 out runner at third base, and then Marmol came back and struck out the next 2 hitters. Put the ground out, the runner at third got the run in, that made it a 5-3 game. Then came the rain in the top of the 6th inning. Before the teams could start the 6th inning, the home plate umpire Bob Davidson signaled for the ground crew to put the tarp over the field. Well, that was a smart decision by Davidson, because if he wouldn't have, those heavy rains would have came in and doused the field and potentially may have not allowed us to continue in the game this afternoon. We sat around for a little while, watched some Superstars, watched a couple episodes of This Week in Baseball, talked a little bit with John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels, and went back to baseball in the top of the 6th inning after almost a 2-hour rain delay. Lansing came back and got the leadoff man Brian DeFarrakhan with a walk, but couldn't manage anything after that against David Austin, the Colonel's pitcher, in the relief of the starter Chris Hunter. And Lansing gave up a couple of runs with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Chris Gross came on and gave up those 2-out runs as a 2-out triple by Matt Polly scored Caleb Mayer, who had singled with 1 out, and then Tommy Duane just he doubled into Polly right behind the triple to make it a 7-3 game. Lansing threatened in the 8th inning. They had a couple of runners on to Fox into a fielder's choice to end the inning. And then, in the 9th inning, with the bases loaded and just 1 out, Chris Walker took strike 3 looking, and Carlos Rojas, on the first pitch he saw, he went after it, swinging and flew out to center field to end the ball game. Lost a young hitter. He will learn it as his minor league career goes on. In that situation, you want to make the pitcher throw you a strike first before being too aggressive at the plate and going after a pitch to try to hit a home run and tie the ball game up. Final totals in the game today for the Cedar Rapids Kernels: 7 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. They left 4 runners on base. Lansing, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. And they left 8 runners on base. Lansing continuing to struggle with leaving runners on base in the 2004 season, and they leave 8 on the next cost them. Winning pitcher Chris Hunter, he goes to 3-2 on the year. The losing pitcher Carlos Marmol, he drops to 5-1. No save in the ball game for either the Lugnuts or the Kernels. And in front of 1,997, the game took 2 hours and 4 minutes to play, and that does not count the almost 2-hour rain delay that we had to go through here in Cedar Rapids today. That's what's the Farm Bureau Insurance Game Summary, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, making your future more predictable. We'll take our final break of the post-game show now. When we come back, we'll have the call of the game for you, and then we'll wrap up the broadcast and tell you about Monday's series finale, which will not be broadcast here on 92.7 The Ticket, but will be available online at LansingLugnuts.com, and we'll do that next as the post-game show rolls on from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, on 92.7 The Ticket.
Future's looking better and brighter every day. With neighbors and friends who stand beside you all the way. Always there when you need them. People you can trust. Your family and future are always safe with us. We're making your future more predictable. For you and us. That's why so many people all over Michigan have learned who they can count on time and time again. Working together the best that we can be for your security. We're making your future more predictable. On your insurance.
Pepsi brings you lunch. You know, folks, when you're traveling overseas, you don't want to look stupid. Like, don't order French fries when you're in France. Don't do it. And don't ask for Swiss cheese in Switzerland. I asked for Swiss cheese in Switzerland once. The guy looked at me like I insulted him. He was like, "Say it out here." I was like, "Take it easy." And when you're in China, don't ask a guy, "Hey, man, you know I can get some good Chinese food around here?" They are going to lock you up. And if you're in Holland and you want to split the lunch bill with your date, don't ask if she wants to go Dutch. She already is Dutch. And when you order that Dutch girl a bowl of snert and a nice cold Pepsi, don't say, "Do your people call it Pepsi too?" Of course they call it Pepsi. You think they come to the States and ask for American cola? Well, they will if you keep asking them for Dutch chocolate.
Without Pepsi, it's just not lunch. Pepsi, it's the cola.
Flip Van Hoven back at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Well, today the Lugnuts lose by a score of 7-3. In case you're tuning in for Pistons basketball, well, we'll be right there in just a second. Lansing fell today by a score of 7-3 after a couple hours of rain here in Iowa. Teams resumed play, and Lansing could not come up with a victory today as Carlos Marmol loses his first game of the year, and Lansing drops to 9-1 in games that Marmol pitched in 2004. It's time now for the call of the game, brought to you by the Mid-Michigan Radio Group and 92.7 The Ticket. And our call of the game today comes in the second inning with one out. Jake Fox had singled to put Lansing's first hit on the board. And Robinson Chirinos, he found Fox, and the second baseman from Venezuela came up and did this. Inflatable characters, we'll tell you about them in just a second. No pitch to Chirinos. Chirinos dives it to left. This ball is deep, and this ball is long gone. A line shot homer for Chirinos. And despite what the kids say in the suite next to me, Chirinos can hit. It's a 2-run homer, and the Lugnuts are back to within a run at 3-2. Home run number 5 for Chirinos. RBIs number 20 and 21. And that 2-run home run did get the Lugnuts on the board today in the second inning. Some youngsters in the suite next to me were having a little fun with Robinson Chirinos and showed them on that at bat at least. But Lansing couldn't get it done today as they dropped by a score of 7-3. That's our call of the game for the broadcast today. And be sure to listen in tomorrow to the Michigan Radio Group station. If you can provide how the play ended, you can have a chance to win some Lugnuts tickets. That'll also do it for our broadcast here today in Cedar Rapids. It's going to start off a little bit early so we can get you out to Conseco Fieldhouse for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Pistons and the Pacers. I want to thank our producer, engineer Dave Wells, for all of his hard work back in the studio today. And during that 2-hour rain delay, hopefully Dave has stuff to be back in the station he can take care of while dancing through the raindrops here in Cedar Rapids. And I'm also thanking John Rogers and Mike Coolback for all their hard work on the broadcast here in Cedar Rapids. The voice of the Kernels and the Kernels Director of Media Relations here in Cedar Rapids for their help in the ball game today. And we want to thank the fans for listening as Lansing 9 innings falls by a score of 7-3. Tomorrow we won't be on 92.7. We'll be on the internet as Ryan Dempster will make the second rehab start for Lansing. He'll do that against Nick Touchdown. A righty for the Lansing and Dempster and a lefty. And touchdown for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Game time tomorrow online at Lansing.com. Will be online at 1:50 Eastern, 1:50 Central Time, 2:50 Eastern Time for the first pitch as the Lugnuts wrap up their 4-game series here in Cedar Rapids. We'll be back in 92.7 on Tuesday night at Oldsmobile Park when the Lugnuts take on Wisconsin in the first game of the 4-game series. That'll do it from Cedar Rapids. Seth Van Hoven saying thanks for listening. Have fun and go nuts, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow on BroadcastMonsters.com and on Tuesday from Oldsmobile Park, right here on 92.7 The Ticket.
Thanks for listening to Lugnuts Baseball on 92.7 The Ticket. Join us for our next Lugnuts broadcast only on 92.7 The Ticket, Lansing Sports Leader.